Welcome to Nimmin Live, the #1 place on the internet to learn about YouTube, network with other content creators, and have an awesome time doing it. My name is Nick, and today we're answering your YouTube questions. So if you have a question about anything it is that you're doing on YouTube, you are in the right place. But when I say we, I mean myself and my brother from the same mother, the magnificent Dee Nimmin.
How was your week? How was your week?
My week was fantastic, Dee. How was yours?
Yeah, my week is great. Just so you guys know, we're battling a mold infestation here in the Nimmin Live studio. So if you have any advice or tips on how to get rid of mold, let me know.
Right?
Because we're dealing with some issues in here today.
Mm-hmm. So,
some milestones. Hope you had a great week.
Yeah, hope you had a great week. So a few things that we need to talk about today. So we do have just a little bit of YouTube news, of course, to talk about here. In addition to that, we, just like Chantel just dropped into the chat right here, we are also 39 days until Vid Summit. So for those of you that are going to Vid Summit, you definitely are probably getting excited for this like I am. And in addition to that, I do want to let you know, if you are somebody that is not familiar with Vid Summit, or you haven't been to Vid Summit yet, but you've heard us talk about it, or maybe you've never even heard us talk about it, Vid Summit is a conference for content creators. It's a place where we all come together in Dallas, Texas. This year, it's happening September 29th through October 1st in Dallas, Texas. And this is a conference where content creators come together to share what it is that they know about YouTube and to share their love for YouTube. And if you are a content creator that is doing this for, like, you're not just uploading videos and hoping that you're going to get subscribers, but you're trying to actually turn it into something, and you're trying to make your YouTube channel a part of your business, or you're trying to make it your business, then in that case, Vid Summit is the perfect place for you. But you can find out more about Vid Summit by going to vidsummit.com. We're also going to be giving away a couple of tickets later in the stream today. But
goody.
Even if you don't get tickets, I also do want to let you know that vidsummit.com is definitely something that you should check out regardless, so that you can see just all the details and see what it's all about. So with that out of the way, I do want to also get into the YouTube news, because we did just kind of jump the gun on the Vid Summit promo.
Yeah,
we're just like skip the entire news segue here, so we're seeing what's going on there.
That's never happened before.
Okay, so hold on really quick. Anything?
I swear I've never done that before.
What happened?
Hey, Scrapper, good to see you.
So a couple of things. So the very first is that the product shelf is going away. So if you have seen on YouTube, or if you've used on YouTube, if you are a monetized creator, we had that shelf that is underneath our videos. And with that shelf, we could put merch down there where people could buy our merch. If you had products to sell, you could connect them to a Shopify store and you could sell products there. But now, with this new update, and again, not again, but this is according to the merch company Fourth Wall. This was an email that they sent out, and they are mentioning that the shelf is going away in favor of tagged products. So this is one more place where YouTube is kind of reaching their hand in, scraping away just little bit by little bit, boiling the frog to make it harder for content creators to make money in obvious ways. And instead, they are prioritizing, things that benefit the platform, which, I mean, it's their platform, so it makes sense they're doing that. But it's, just one of those things, one of those changes that they are making. So it's important that you're aware of that. And I don't know yet if the product shelf is going away entirely, or if the product shelf is, or if the, hold on really quick.
You're not sure if it's moving or if it's...
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's like just completely getting taken out, because I know the store tab is still going to be there. So if the store tab is still going to be there, you're still going to be able to, promote your own stuff from your channel. It's just not going to be right underneath your video. So one just quick learning opportunity for this is, when it comes to YouTube, one of the things that we have as content creators, or that we get into the habit of, is we will we'll tell people to do things in videos, and we will be like, hey, under this video, you can check it out, my product shelf, things like that. So over time, YouTube does make changes. So because of that, when it comes to in screens, I have this big habit also, and I'm sure a lot of you do also, to where we point to things like, hey, click on this video here. But it might be better to just say, click on the video on the screen now, things like that, instead of pointing in a direction. Because over the entirety of time that I've been on YouTube, there's been changes to different things like that. Like we used to have annotations where you could, navigate people around your videos through on-screen buttons essentially, and those sorts of things. So because of that, just be mindful of that for evergreen content. If you're making content that's on topic right now, in that case, it's not as big of a deal. But if you are making evergreen content, you want that content to just always be perfect, then in that case, just mention on screen instead of, directly pointing to things.
The moral of the story is lean into shopping, tag those products.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah, I don't see
that's how they're pushing people to make money. So get in on it. Essentially, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I mean, okay, we have the product shelf. Yeah. That's one thing. Okay, cool. They're taking it away, but they're leaning more towards YouTube shopping. And okay, I mean, they're not taking it away. They're just saying, hey, just go more into YouTube shopping. There you go. Tag everything. Tag absolutely everything in your set. Okay. In every video. Yep. Talking about something, tag it. Mm-hmm. Tag everything you can. Yep. Got a cool looking shirt, tag it.
So what do you think? What do you think, Dee, for people that are reluctant to do that because they feel like they're constantly shilling products and stuff? What do you think? What are your thoughts on that? Because I know that when it comes to YouTube, that is
there's always
something that people think about.
There's
right?
Always the
purist. That's a great way to put it.
There's always the creator purist, and if you want to do that and you want to find alternative ways to monetize your content, you are free to do so. I don't care how you monetize your content. Full stop. Don't care. But for those of you who are like, I want to make as much money as possible because these cameras aren't free, my internet's not free, the computers that I'm buying is not free, my iPhones are not free, my gadgets, my Rodecaster Pro.
Those super chats we're giving Nick and Dee, those aren't free.
Those aren't free. The 810 Mini Pro is not free. The rent on our studio is not free. The coffee mugs that I have to have, these little guys right here aren't free. The snacks that come, none of this, all the cables, none of this stuff is free. So if you want to offset some of that cost by trying to make money, you monetize your content however you see fit.
Yes.
If that means you tag products, you tag products. If that means you want to create a membership, you create a membership. If you want to sell a course, you sell a course. If you want to create your own digital product or actual product, you make it and you sell it. You want to upload to multiple platforms, you do that too. But if you want to be a purist, knock yourself out. That's the cool thing about being a creator. It's everything is a creative choice. We get to choose what we do with our content. We get to choose if we want to monetize it, if we don't want to monetize it. Entirely up to us.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong way. It's just all based on your personal goals and what you're trying to achieve. Mm-hmm. But if you are trying to get paid, then get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that bag.
That doesn't mean be a shill. Don't be a shill. Don't take money or products for things that you normally wouldn't use, or things that you might like, I really wouldn't do this, but $20 is $20 sort of thing. Don't do that. Yeah, have some integrity.
And don't be a piece of shill either.
That's right.
Right? Yeah.
That's right.
So the next thing that we have is that YouTube is, they've been experimenting with this and they're rolling it out to more creators now, which is a really exciting feature that they are, putting out there. And I think that for some content creators, this is going to be something that's really cool if the content that you're putting out is appropriate for it. So they are expanding what's called stations to new formats. So the message here for this is it says, we're expanding stations, a new destination to enjoy continuous 24/7 streams of curated videos to include new formats like creator content, media channels, podcasts, and select music artists. Stations let you watch collections of videos from your favorite creators as an always-on, lean-back viewing experience. You can watch and engage in real time with other fans in live chat, making it feel like a shared viewing room. While we started this pilot with a small group of music artists, you'll now see stations for a wide variety of new types of content. You can find stations recommendations in your home and search feeds in the YouTube and the YouTube Music apps on mobile, desktop, and TV devices. This feature is available to all users globally, with the exception of Portugal, Switzerland, and Turkey.
Because screw those countries.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. And for creators who are starting with a limited number, it says, and for creators, we are starting with a limited number of new creators for this experiment, and we'll keep you up to date when we expand. So that's just, an exciting feature that we have, just on the horizon, and some creators are starting to get it now. And with that, one of the cool things about it is, as long as it's working in the way it sounds like it's going to work, is one question that we get from time to time is, can I upload live streams or can I upload videos to my channel and put a compilation of videos together and publish them on my channel as a 24/7 live stream? So this is going to be a built-in version of that essentially, and that gives people the opportunity to essentially create, these stations, according to what YouTube's calling them, that you can host on your channel for 24/7. So somebody can just come in and essentially just binge watch a bunch of content. So this is going to be really good for episodic content creators, people that have series that they put together of taking people through a progression of things, that kind of stuff. It's going to be really good for that. And of course, you make music videos, stuff like that, so people can watch them back to back. But this is going to be a really interesting rollout, and it's going to be fun also to see how people are, going to use this and how they're going to put this into practice. And like Doug mentions here, they also have a live chat too. So then, for example, people that like hanging out here for the community side on Nimin Live, if that were to get going on my channel, then, people could just check in there, and share some advice with people and give feedback and, all kinds of fun stuff in there too.
Now, full disclosure, I haven't read anything about the stations. I saw one, but I don't understand the difference between a normal live stream, like a pre-recorded live stream that you're playing like on a server or something like that, versus a station.
Yeah.
Is it like what's the actual difference between the two?
So this happens directly through YouTube, so you don't have to pay a third party for it.
Okay.
So, if you run a 24/7 stream on your station.
So Google's killing more businesses.
Right.
Okay.
If you do hey Tim Tech, what's going on, man? If you do a 24/7 stream on your channel, you have to use a service like OBubble or something like that, which is like $50 a month if you want it to be related. So you can do it from your house if you want, but it's just not as reliable.
Right.
You have the YouTube features built into it, but if you push the live stream, those features would be built in anyway.
Right.
But they're also going to be showing up on YouTube as stations too. So in addition to them just being available on your channel, one of the things that it mentions here is you're also going to see them on your home and in search as well.
But they do that with lives anyway. So the difference is like you could search for live things, right? So I'm just curious, like, are they just changing the name for certain types of content? But the difference being is instead of renting an OBubble server for a month to $50 a month, whatever it costs, you're now going to be able to upload that series of videos or that 10-hour video up into YouTube, and they will keep that playing in the background.
Right. And so then it's always reliable. So you don't have to ever worry about it being taken down.
So that's the real difference.
Right.
Otherwise, it's just a name change.
Well, and it also gets recommended. I mean, technically, you can get live streams recommended as well. Like people are coming to this right now because it's being recommended.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. What's the
but if they have a category for that on a homepage, where it's like, hey, if you want to have a lean back experience, which is kind of how they're selling this.
Okay.
So it's like if you want to have a lean back experience, like here's some stations that are going on. So then you can go in and you can join it that way. And because they're using the word stations, I'm thinking like TV stations maybe because my old brain is thinking TV stations. So because of that, just the presentation of those might be different. You mentioned that you have interacted with one of those already.
Yes.
On a music channel on the music side.
Max Richter.
Max Richter is his channel.
He's a composer.
So
and there was no difference.
No difference whatsoever.
No difference whatsoever
Yeah,
that I noticed.
Okay.
But I didn't know that he could act like he's uploaded that content to YouTube. I didn't know that. So that alone is a major difference.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking in terms of recommendations and in terms of how everything gets played on the platforms. Like really, what's the difference between live and stations? But if they're categorized now as like based on emotions, like if you want a laid back. If you want some laid back stations, come over here and have a look.
Better bring your towel.
Yep. But I mean that's kind of like I'm glad you said that, not me.
Well, that's a Boys to Men's reference.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's Boys to Men.
I don't know.
They say that at the beginning of one of their songs.
Kind of like a South Park reference.
No.
But isn't that kind of what like categories are though? Like if I search for ASMR, it's going to give me ASMR.
Well, think of it like this. Right now, you can go onto.
By the way, I'm not crapping on this. I'm just trying to figure it out.
This isn't a dump moment?
No.
Is what you're saying?
No, it's not a dump moment. I'm just trying to figure out the nuance of this.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Because I want to figure out how I can exploit it.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's figure out how I can game the system.
Yeah, so the way that I'm thinking about it is that it is going to be presented differently on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. So like a live stream, it just shows up normally. So with those, see if you can find some. While we're sitting here streaming.
I know.
If you can find some, then we can see what that presentation looks like and actually
I'm going to do that right now. I'm not.
You might need to VPN it. Not sure, but I wouldn't do that just because the stream's open. But
I'm not going to see if I go to live. Nope, and it's gone. Wow, so the channel that did have it playing no longer has it playing.
Okay.
Share it with a friend.
There we go.
Okay, so I'm going to hunt around and see if I can find it again.
Okay.
And then we'll pull it up. I'm obviously not going to share the audio, but here it is. Found one. Okay, ready? Let me turn off the audio. Can I share this?
Sure.
Make sure the audio is off. Okay, so this
don't have it playing, but just show the show the thing.
But there's nothing on there. It's just one picture.
Okay. Yep. Go.
Yep. All right. Let's see here. We're going to share it. We're going to share the screen. And by the way, this is a live streaming pro tip right here. When you're trying to do something, you want to keep the conversation going. Just explain what you're doing while you're doing it. Like, I'm looking for this, and I'm loading it up here, and I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to turn off the audio tab so we don't have a copyright issue. And then I'm going to hit share.
Okay.
Right? Talking through what I'm doing is a great way to get through those moments during a live stream. Without getting that dead silence. Okay, now I'm going to add it to the stream, to the stage here. So this is the...
I'm going to zoom in on this too so I can
Yeah, so this
so I
is
can check it
the
out.
Max Richter Sleep Radio. It is labeled as a station. As you see, if I highlight over this, it's called a station.
What happens if you click on that?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
There's currently no one chatting, so it looks like a live chat. It's called live chat and top chat, so it looks just like a live stream.
Exactly like a live stream. Okay.
If I come down here to the bottom, it has a description. It has a live chat. There's nothing on here.
Oh, you see this though? I'll see that event though. That's not. That's
Yeah,
not
that's
a part
normal
of
for
this.
me. Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
So there's nothing on here except for the station's little bubble right here, little icon, that says that it's anything different from a live stream.
Hey, when you get the chance, you should log into Creator Mix since they're rolling these out and see if Creator Mix has this available.
I'll do that right now.
Yeah, because that might be then we might be able to see it on the creator end as well.
I'll tell you what, carry this.
Yep.
And I will go do that right now.
Yep, it's on my shoulders. I got this.
Listen, a lot of responsibility. It's the Niman Live show.
Yep. Okay.
So you have a standard to keep.
Okay.
Don't let me down.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Nick,
So,
would
hey,
you
really quick, though, before you do that, I do want to let you know that this stream is brought to you by OpusClip. OpusClip will help you repurpose your content and use it across different platforms. So if you do live streams, if you publish longer content on your videos, OpusClip is a perfect way to take that content, cut it up into short clips on autopilot, and then be able to publish those clips into either your YouTube channel, additional YouTube channels that you create, TikTok, Instagram, if you don't publish over there, even if you do to supplement your publishing over there, that kind of stuff. But you can learn more about OpusClip at opusclip.com. And one thing I do want to remind you of, they also have Agent Opus, which is where it will make videos completely for you. You just tell it what it is that you want and you give it the style. And in addition to that, they also have AI Producer, and you can find out more about that at producer.opus.pro. But the cool thing about AI Producer is you can load your videos into it, your unedited videos into it, and then it can go ahead and start editing those videos for you and give you a video that you can publish to your accounts as well. So it's just a great way to be able to add additional graphics, additional B-roll, and all of that on autopilot so that you don't have to manually do it for those of you that are busy. But you can check out all of that. All roads will lead to Rome if you just go to opus.pro, or if you want to give me a commission, an affiliate commission, in case you sign up, you can go to tryopusnow.com. All right.
I'm going to pull that up.
Yeah, so let's do it. So a couple things first before we get started while Dee's working on that. Amy, welcome to Tuber School. By the way, we saw that come in before the thing, so we're super excited to work with you inside of there. So welcome to the crew inside of Tuber School.
What's Tuber School?
Yeah, so Tuber School is a mentorship program / school that we put together for content creators. You can find out more about that at tuberschool.com. So we have a couple of questions that we have from the replay link that we put out. We just started putting this out last week. So for those of you that are listening on the replay, I do want to let you know that we do have that available for you. You can go to nickniman.com/replay. And if you have a question, if you weren't able to make the stream, then we pull some questions from that as well before we get into the questions that come in during the stream. We just grab a few and then we move on. So we answer them in the order that they are received. So if you do have a question or you want feedback on your channel, then make sure that you go to nickniman.com/replay to check that out. So the first question that we have here on the replay one is from SL Rugby Edits. They wanted channel advice, and they upload one time per week or more. The type of channel is Rugby Edits. The goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is, should I switch to long-form content like top 10 rugby edits to get monetized faster using watch hours, or keep focusing on shorts? So if you are currently in a position to where you're like, man, I don't know if I should use shorts or if I should use long form content in order to get monetized, I would try both and see which ones that you're best at, because you might be really good at shorts and you might be able to hit the thresholds before February 1st. Or you might also be very good at long form content and be able to leverage that in order to hit the threshold. So it really comes down to, first, your goal. You always start there. What am I trying to do with my channel? And then from there, you figure out, okay, based on how people are responding to my content right now, which makes the most sense to lean into in order to, to help me be able to reach those metrics, and which one do I think that I'll be able to get together the fastest in order to be able to, to hit the requirements before February 1st rolls around. So that would be what I would think about more than anything when it comes to making that call, is which one are you best at and which one makes the most sense for you being able to get monetized before that time, based on, your skill sets and how people are responding to your current content.
I cannot find anything.
You don't have anything inside of Creator Mix yet?
No,
Okay.
I'm still looking, but I can upload, go live, create posts, new playlist, new podcast, new course, new show. I have shows turned on.
Okay.
But I don't have anything about station.
Okay. Yeah, just might not have it yet.
I'm going to hit go live and see if there's anything that pops up here.
Hey, really quick, Epic Videos Diecast Racing says they're back. So, hey, I was just talking to Dee about that. And so YouTube recommended me your content the other day. And I watched a few of your videos. And your channel is a great example of, like, one of the things that, we talk about is kind of effort in versus effort out when it comes to your YouTube channel. And I went and looked because I was like, this is incredible. I wonder if there's a bunch of channels like this, right? Because like your channel was my first introduction to that type of content. And for those of you that don't know, if you weren't here last week, we pulled up their channel and they do diecast racing content. And the diecast racing content is like next level diecast racing content. Like, it feels like you're watching a racing, like a race on TV in terms of how well they put it all together. So I went and I looked around the niche and I couldn't find anything that was even remotely close. So people had cool setups, people had cool cars, some people had, okay commentary, but EP videos, diecast racing, next level in terms of the obvious effort that's being put into that content. So every shot, like, you can tell that a lot of intention and effort went into every shot for it. Where a lot of those content creators, they will just have cameras that are stationary and they are, just in the position so they can catch the cars moving. But with diecast, with the diecast racing EP video channel, they're actually like panning the camera out, like as the cars go by, and there's like real serious effort put into this to make it feel or mimic like a real race that you would see, from coming from like a real produced thing like NASCAR or something like that. And in addition to that is the commentary. So, again, people have commentary, they have a lot of fun with it. And I'm not knocking the other channels that do this, but they, some of them, it's fun, they do a good job. But in terms of the effort, right, that is put into EP videos diecast racing, it's just a whole other level, and because of that they're getting rewarded for it, right? So the channel's growing, the comment section is just on fire, right, on every single one of them, just because they're so impressive compared to other people in their niche. So the reason that I'm talking about all this is because they are a great example of, you can come into a niche, right, or you can be operating in a niche already, and you can, be doing, the right things, you can be getting traction and all of that. But when you are like looking at everybody else, you're like, okay, how can I really take this up a notch? Then that can give you a real opportunity to stand out exactly like they're doing on their channel, to where when you compare their channel to everybody else, at least that I could find when I was, taking the time to look around, when you compare theirs to everybody else that does something similar, it's not even remotely close in terms of, the production value and just the energy and EP videos, diecast racing, their understanding of, keeping people engaged and all that stuff compared to the other people that are watching. Yeah, just a totally different thing. So what I'm getting at is, when you are doing niche research, you're looking around other channels, take that time to not just see what they're doing, but see like, hey, is there something that I can do here to level up to help me stand out? Because, in a case like theirs, it really makes a big difference, and it makes it to where when you are interacting with their content compared to everybody else that I could find making similar content, like, it makes you not want to watch the other content in favor of watching their content. It's absolutely nuts. So just wanted to, just mention that really quick for people that are, doing the thing, but, but you're like, yeah, you know what, is there a way that I could level up? Just wanted to encourage you to explore that, because it can really make a big difference. And their channel, how they're operating in their niche, really helped that stand out.
Yeah, man, we don't have it. I just looked.
So we don't have it at all?
No, I just looked through all of these settings here, and I don't see any.
Okay. All right. Maybe next week.
Yep.
So next up on the list here, we have BlinkyT. What's going on, Blinky? They do daily content, but on YouTube for 1 year or more. They have a walking channel with a gaming style picture-in-picture. The goal of the channel is to make money. And let's see here. Train, music, information, says, I do both long form and make short form for search. Like, parking and toilets and water, etc. My main focus is long form. I feel like I've been grinding away for so long with very little movement. Average retention is 10 minutes most. And I aim for 30 minutes. Thumbnails are made with AI and manually in DaVinci Resolve. I started with affiliates and failing miserably. Broad question, how can I improve my content? Where can you see areas of improvement? I shoot with a Insta360. A lapel mic, which the audio is good given that it's outside, and I implement pop-ups like track info, elevation, history, facilities, and let's see here. Okay, so yeah, let's take a look at what it is that you're doing and look for areas of improvement. Okay, so let's go to BlinkyYT.
BlinkyYT. Yeah, I don't have it in the Dee Nimmin channel either.
You don't have it anywhere?
No, I don't have it anywhere.
Shark Scrapper, what's going on, Sue? Nice to see you here. Trish does stuff. Nice to see you here as well. Shanna makes it. Nice to have you here. Hope everybody's doing great. Doug Houston, what's up? Artist Haven, hope you're doing great. Tango in the kitchen, nice to see you here. Jerry, what's up, man? Hope you're doing awesome. I hope everybody's doing great. Nice to see everybody. Pam, nice to see you here. Larry, what's up, man? So, yeah, so looking at the channel here, let me pull this up here so everybody can see as we dig into this here.
Let's see it.
Let's see it. Let's take a gander and see what's going on here. Okay, so walk with me, and then you have the places that you're going here. So it looks like you have a big personality, which is good. Let's check popular videos really quick just to see what's worked before. So your best video so far is 1.8 thousand views. Blue Springs Walk, insider tips before you visit. Okay, so right out of the gate, 2 ways up. What's best? Hold on. I underestimated the difficulty. Okay, so it's like a mountain climb, I guess. Okay, just a walking tour.
Cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, so one thing that I would do is what your very first, or what the highest performing video on the channel is suggesting, is that tips as you're doing this is definitely something that, people responded to a little bit better. I mean, it could have been the location. This is a really pretty looking, area.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
But as a part of this, though, there's a clear, value. Like, full guide plus insider tips before you visit, right? Like it sounds in terms of the value here, it sounds like more is going on, right? Versus it being expressed as just a, just a walk. Hold on, let's keep going here. Other things I would experiment with is, and you're probably doing this already, but I'd experiment with, in the photo or in the thumbnails, not in the thumbnails, just see if it makes a difference or not, because you're in some just amazing looking places. Yeah. So letting that do some of the, talking for you might be the approach. And then I would also consider, and I'm looking to see if you've done this yet.
Where are you? Where is this stuff?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's gorgeous though. New Zealand.
Beautiful.
Yeah, New Zealand.
Oh, wow. I need to get to New Zealand.
Yeah, other things I would also experiment with is you do have these beautiful views, and I would think that these would grab tons of attention just because of the views themselves. But other things is changing these into shots more like this and seeing if people respond to that too. Because if the whole thing is about, like a walking tour, then, showing some of that also just might be something to experiment with. I don't know if that'll make a difference, but that would be something that I would experiment with because it doesn't look like you're doing any of that yet on the channel. So it looks more like you're walking a trail versus just showing off scenery. So there might be some alignment there, but you do have the walking tour in here. So that should do a lot of heavy lifting in terms of explaining to people at a glance that this is a walking video. What were you going to say, Dee?
Are most of her videos, are they showing her walking or is it POV? Give
me 1 second here. Yeah, they start out, you're presenting. Yeah, I've actually looked at some of these already. So walks out, she's presenting.
Okay.
Starts walking around the path.
I may or may not be your target audience.
Look at that. Oh my goodness.
But I absolutely love watching high quality, silent walkthroughs of places. I like hearing people's footsteps walking through the rain and crunching on gravel. It's a whole experience. I don't know if you've tried that yet on your channel, but these places are absolutely spectacular. And I mean, no disrespect to you and how you're shooting this. This is your vision. You do what you want. But for me, what I like to watch, I love to watch this type of scenery and just listen. Just nobody's talking. I don't see the person. It's just, I'm just there. I'm experiencing what it is there, what it sounds like, and it just kind of like takes me. I love that stuff.
Technically, you could do both. You could have a channel where you had that going on, where you just have a camera strapped here, and then have this channel where you're talking, and then just go through and edit out those talking parts for that other video, or kind of patch the audio together.
Yeah.
But really quick, David Matney. David Matney says that it's almost as beautiful as Omaha.
Yeah.
I love it.
Omaha is hard to beat, especially in the fall.
Yeah. So another thing that I would do here also is I would just do like walking tour, nature, walking tour 4K.
Yeah,
and let's see what other people are doing here.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, look at Lake Como right there. I would click on that in 2 seconds flat. Look at that.
This one?
Yeah. I just
Spectacular, cloudy mood, lakeside promenade walking tour. I don't know. She's taking a very similar approach when it comes to titles. It's just not working on her end. Hold on.
Yeah.
I can only do one thing at a time here. Yeah, so this looks like it starts out. It's slower. Not sure if they're talking or not. Let me check a transcript.
In the rain.
Yep, no transcript. So so if there's no transcript and there's no talking here.
Yeah. Yep. It's just a different experience. I don't know what you're trying to do with your channel, what your goals are, but yeah, that right there, suburbs of Japan, 4K walking tour. Yeah, all day long. I'm fascinated with Japanese walking tours, especially in the rain when they're out in the umbrella and you can hear the rain hitting the umbrella. Oh my goodness. Yeah, just amazing.
Yeah, these are interesting, but some of these are getting a lot of views on them. So one thing to experiment with is, and this one's kind of tough because as content creators we have the way that we want to put things together, and some and we want those that way that we want to do it to work. And there's probably other channels that are doing it exactly like you are, and they're doing fine too. So because of that, a few things that I would experiment with is I would experiment with having you on or off of the thumbnails. Reason for that is you could see just when I looked for that, and I'll just do it again real quick. It actually shows the environment more than it shows the creators here.
Yeah.
So if that's a normal thing in your niche, then I would just experiment with that and see if you're in a similar situation, because here none of these have the creator.
Oh my goodness.
None of these have the creator in them. So I would definitely. Oh, I think I might have saw one. Hold on.
Right. But there's not. The point being, there's not a lot.
Yeah.
Don't know
in terms of the thumbnails. Right. So, and because you are trying to leverage the scenery, right here. Oh, it's them. Okay. Hey. Yeah, they're doing a premiere right now. Yeah,
awesome.
Nice. Yeah, Rob and Tish. So, so basically when it comes to that, that would be step one of something that I would experiment with is like, hey, let me focus it on the scenery for the thumbnail and just see, if that makes a difference. Because how you have the walking tour and the text on here, I think that's fine. But, just experiment with you being on or off the thumbnail and see if it makes a difference. Or not, because you are a strong feature in all of these thumbnails that we're looking at least in this group that I'm seeing right now. So that would be step number one for what I would experiment with. Yeah. And also, like, I'm not saying don't talk in your things or anything like that. But step one is, hey, can we get more people clicking on these?
Yeah.
And then if so, then now that we have more people clicking on them, now what can we do? Like, what do we see in the beginning of our videos in terms of when I'm presenting this to the people that are watching these videos, do they end up leaving quickly? If I am, if I do one where I don't start presenting it for the first, 15 seconds, do people stick around strongly in that first 15 seconds and then dip out once I start, presenting, the content, that sort of thing. But those are the types of things that I'd be experimenting with right now on your channel. One, thumbnails and just featuring the scenery, and also experimenting with featuring, just you guys walking and that stuff to make it look a little bit more casual. And then step two would be the different things starting at the beginning of your video, because you already have a bunch of content with you presenting first. So starting with B-roll without you saying anything, and then just watching your retention to see if the people that are responding to this content, when you come in and you start presenting, is that when they start leaving? If so, then that might be a sign to to modify things a bit for those people if that's what they prefer. Because that's one of the things that we have to do as content creators is if we have a certain type of content that we're making and we're not getting results with it and we want people to respond to it, we have to see what they respond to it and how they're responding to it, and then possibly make changes in order to, accommodate them with the content that we're making. If you're wanting to do better, right? But if you're like, hey, I just want to keep doing these because it also is a log of the things I'm into and stuff like that, totally fine. But if you are, wanting to level things up, then I would definitely make some of those changes and just see if people respond to them differently.
Yeah, I agree.
And Dee agrees, and that's all that matters.
I mean, I watch similar content.
Yeah.
I love the walking stuff. I just find it super peaceful. Totally different than what she's making. She's like having, she's talking and walking around. You're doing it with her instead of through her. And I think that's the difference between the type of content.
And then now we are going to get into some questions here from the live stream today. The first one is from Confident Finance. Confident Finance, they upload 1 time per week or more, been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do personal financing Quicken tutorials for their channel. The goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, I've been experimenting with custom thumbnails for my shorts on Confident Finance, but I'm starting to wonder if they're actually worth doing. My shorts views have slowed down since I started using them, although that also seems to line up with the recent changes to shorts. Do you think custom thumbnails for shorts are actually helpful, or could they hurt performance? And with most shorts views coming from the shorts feed anyway, is it worth spending time creating them? So let me look at your channel here real quick, because it's possible here. Let me just look before I say this, because it's possible that just the the thumbnails that you're making are showcasing things that aren't particularly focused on finance, like possibly the other stuff might be. So let's take a look and see what it is that you're doing. Okay, so here are your shorts, and we see here that you have, this is a custom thumbnail, this is a custom thumbnail, this here is not custom, and this is not custom, and this is not custom. So we have some, good variables here. So, and if we keep coming down, we've got this one, and then here with you, and then here's some other ones. So for these, they responded better with you. Keep in mind, these could be topical, or not. But one thing when it comes to the custom thumbnails that you're making that I want to bring to your attention is when YouTube is presenting these based on you putting text and everything outside of the safe areas, you can see how it's cutting everything off. So because of that, people can't get what they need out of some of the thumbnails that you're making. This one is a little bit better, but not so much. Like, you have the rent word there that might grab attention, but the main title of this is being cut off. So because of that, I would make sure that before you count shorts thumbnails out, that you do consider that. Another thing is when it comes to your publishing on these, all of these right here have been published just within the last few days. The place where these are really going to come into play for you isn't right now. They're going to come in, a week down the road, possibly later, when YouTube is more aggressively putting these on, or even, a few days from them, where YouTube is putting them on home pages and things like that. And when they put them on home pages, they put them in search, they put them next to videos and suggested, then that's where this does a lot of heavy lifting on the thumbnail side of giving people context of what the video is about. So other things is when you are doing this, I like how you put the Quicken logo in here, and all of that is good. But I'm not sure from the rent due area. I'm not sure how, from a clarity standpoint, that is, targeted towards, people into Quicken, but it is Quicken for landlords. So yeah, so that might pick up, actually. That might be good for them. But step number one is I would make sure that your thumbnails fit. So when you look at your shorts page here on your channel on a computer, just make sure that your thumbnails fit here, and then give these a little bit of time. And then keep doing what you're doing. Experiment with not having some in there too. And then over time, then you'll start to get an idea on, hey, people do or don't respond to these when I use the custom shorts or the custom thumbnails. But other things also, is the whole thing going after landlords, or is it just finance in general? Yeah, because like all of these are rent due. So I'm not sure what's going on there in terms of, yeah, because these have to get in front of a landlord in order for these to matter.
Right.
Versus, publishing shorts that are more wide when it comes to finance. Like a short about, a finance tip, depending on, you know, who YouTube is showing these to, a short on a finance tip might also be something to experiment with, compared to just making it, you know, about landlords here. Because it looks to me that this is more about mastering Quicken instead of just targeting, you know, landlords specifically. But when I look at the long form, though, maybe not. Rental, rental, rental. And then here we've got these general fraud risk videos. Yeah, so with these, it looks like you just started kind of leaning into this landlord area. So one thing to think about there is if you're doing QuickBooks, then you can absolutely show videos where you are, or publish videos where you're targeting different aspects of people that would be interested in QuickBooks. That's perfectly fine. But I would make sure that you don't have long periods of time where you are, you know, only targeting like a landlord if you're trying to help people in general with QuickBooks, right? So do one for landlords, then do, you know, one that would apply to a lot of QuickBooks users, and then do another one for landlords, and then another one or two that would apply to a lot more QuickBooks users. And then by doing that, you are using those videos that apply to more people to, you know, hopefully filter in some of the landlord people that would respond better to that content too. Because the problem happens when you publish these videos, and somebody doesn't watch them in their recommendations, then YouTube is going to stop showing your videos to them, which can also lead to problems. So for example here, let's do fraud risk. Debit cards are riskier than credit cards, right? So if somebody watches this video.
You want to pull it back up?
Oh, yeah, sorry, thanks. If somebody watches this video right here, and then here, you know, this would also be relevant to these viewers. But then right here, as soon as you get into the rental property, for the people that enjoyed these videos, that doesn't matter to them. Don't mix rental and personal transactions. Same thing, doesn't matter. Rentals, doesn't matter. But this one does. Your bank app is lying to you. Yeah, that one will. But basically, you can see here how you go these like longer, you know, you're kind of doing it in reverse, right? So it's like this one here is more, you know, general, the greens are, and then the reds are more landlord. I would actually switch the cadence of these so you're doing more general and less landlord, for the sake of making it to where anybody can respond to the content. And then we have this narrow one that we do, and then anybody can respond to the content that is, you know, that's a QuickBook user, and then narrow again, and then anybody that's a QuickBook user can respond and take that route instead of doubling down on the landlord content. That would be the approach that I would take with that. Lowcraft, you know, okay, what's going on? Hope you're doing great. Manager's Mike, welcome to the stream. Hope everybody's doing awesome. Oops, I just clicked into that video.
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it.
If you are
with
just
a
joining us,
friend
what we're doing is we're answering
right
YouTube questions.
now.
So if you're new here, there's a form or a link that is linked at the bottom of the chat right now. You can click on that. It'll take you to this form that I'm looking at, where I'm pulling the questions out in the order that they come in. If you are watching this on somewhere that is not YouTube, you can go to nickniman.com/ask, and that will send you to the same exact form that I'm pulling these questions from. Oh, the form link isn't working, says Tatted Explorer. Let me click this. Oh yeah, it should. Yeah, I see it here. So when I click on it, I see it. So, and I'm getting questions in here. So yes, I think that might just be you. Try to click on it again, or click Doug's message here, and that should get you taken care of. So next up on our list here, we have Chad on the Road. Chad on the Road uploads one time per week or more. It is a urban exploring and how to locations channel. Goal of the channel is to be a full-time creator. And the question is, since the jump to 8,000 watch hours, do you recommend publicly listing your private visits on your channel that are not specific to your niche to help with hours? So if you have a channel and you are niched down on that channel and you're targeting a certain type of viewer, you want to continue doing that. So if you have videos that you've previously privated on the channel that aren't relevant to that audience, in that case, you want to still you know, keep those private, because you probably privated them for a reason, which is that you are not, you know, you're not, you know, really going after that type of viewer. So because of that, just make sure that you are focused on, you know, just making the right content for the people that you are trying to reach, so that, you know, so that you can get the watch hours on that content instead of, trying to bring some content back that isn't really relevant to the people that you're trying to reach. Let's see here. So next up, we have Chappy Uncut. Chappy Uncut uploads 1 time per week or more. They do DaVinci Resolve and editing tutorials. Goal of the channel is to make money. And the question is there anything obvious to you that I should change in my videos? So let's take a look. Okay, so this is what you got going on here. So we got Chappy Uncut, absolute beginners. So I would fill this out. I mean, this isn't like a game changer or anything, but just to, represent the whole thing a little bit better. So you can use any, like if you use Photoshop or any other, generative fill tool, then you can just use that to kind of fill this out just so it looks a little bit better there. In terms of your thumbnails, I think these look okay. You are putting a big emphasis on yourself over the editing software. You're making the editing software like the secondary focus with you as the primary focus. Right now, I wouldn't do that. You can still have you over here, but I would put the logos for the for DaVinci Resolve. I'd put those up here, and then put whatever text it is that you're going to use in the thumbnail there. So then that way, just from a view hierarchy standpoint, the logo is going to be one of the first things that are seen. So you're still going to grab the majority of attention there, but the DaVinci logo is going to be right up here just to help people, when they're looking around, it's just going to help them be able to see that logo a little bit faster. So I would definitely do that. Other things is like here, you can see how it's getting covered up by the timestamp here. So I just move those around, make sure that, that you're keeping that in mind. And also make sure that you are, just always using the similar logo too, because it looks like you are, like you've committed to like a brand look here. And it looks cool. Like it looks really well put together in terms of how you're presenting this. So all of this looks great. But the couple things that I would focus on is one, making sure that this is more prominent because this is going to be the thing that grabs their attention. 2 is I would also lean more into, editing interface, things like that. So you have it in here, but it's all, behind everything else. So because of that, I would definitely put more, even though these look cool, I would do some where you are putting more emphasis on the editing software for the people that are, looking for or wanting to watch editing videos, right? Or software videos. But you're doing the right thing, leveraging the logo, so that's better than not having it on there. But just making it more prominent would be the thing that I would work on right now. And then let's see here how to export your first video in DaVinci Resolve. No guesswork. Yeah, and little things like this too, like step by step, right? Just so they know that it makes it easy to understand. I mean, it's semantics really because you're kind of saying the same thing, but also, people will look for step by step, when they're looking for videos like this. So just making sure that you are looking up here for how people are looking for what it is that you're making and then following suit in terms of how you're presenting it. Not necessarily for search, but when people do either see it on their homepage and they've been watching these types of videos, it will better match how people are thinking about it. And if people are searching for it, then the way that they're searching for it is going to sync up with how you are presenting the content, right? So I would definitely make sure that you're doing that. Change clip speed to DaVinci Resolve, done in 60 seconds. All that's good. Media offline, DaVinci Resolve, fix it in 30 seconds. Perfect. I love how you're putting the extra, time thing on here, just letting people know that it's something that happens quick. One thing that I would experiment with on here is I don't see any of them yet. We do have one video here that's a little bit longer, and it looks like at a glance that one is actually the best video on the channel so far. So a couple things, or not the channel, but out of the ones I'm looking at here from recent, you have another one here, or some more here that did well. But like on let's see here, Resolve color grading, absolute beginners first grade. Yeah, that's good. One of the thing that I was getting ready to say is the length, right? You can see how this one is longer compared to all of these other ones that you have here that have, underperformed in comparison to this one. And then I'm curious, yeah, this one's longer, it looks like, than most of those. This one's longer, but it still, fell short. This one is in alignment with the other ones, but it's still got 1,000 views on it. So, so you're okay then in that case. Up to 4 minutes on that one. 8 minutes here, still underperformed. Yep, 4 DaVinci Resolve, 21 features that saved me hours. Yeah, I think how you're packaging this is solid. I would go back to these because keep in mind, if somebody comes in and they watch this video, YouTube can also recommend some of these older videos too. So even though these are old to you, I would still go in and make sure that you do put the logos in there, make them prominent, do, you know, some of the similar stuff that I was talking about up here. I would still do that to some of these older videos as well to make it just more clear. Because this one, for example, if we zoom in here, you have it in the title, but if we look here, it's not crystal clear at a glance that this has something to do with DaVinci Resolve, right? That's where that logo popped right up here. Would help that stand out a bit. But yeah, I think overall, I think your titles are okay. I think, you know, a little bit of, you know, work on the thumbnails. I would also experiment, like this dark look looks really cool. But, you know, if you look at it like right now in a dark mode, this may or may not, actually, you know, here, we'll pull this up next to Daniel Batal and we'll see how this compares to his thumbnails in terms of just what stands out more. Let's go here. Yeah, his are pretty dark too. Let's go to add to split view, and then we're going to click Daniel. So the reason I'm doing this is because, and everybody can do this, that thing that I just did here of splitting this up, this is just a feature inside of Google Chrome where you can open up 2 YouTube channels, right click, and just say to change it into split view, and then you select the second one. So you can do this with all of your competitors, and you can go and you can be like, okay, how do my thumbnails stand out compared to their thumbnails? And it's not necessarily about like looking cool, because these like all look really cool, but it's also about, you know, standing out so that it can grab attention next to videos that are similar to yours that YouTube might be recommending next to your videos on people's homepages, suggested videos, and so on, right? So like right here, he definitely does have, you know, some dark, you know, videos here, but there are some light aspects to them as well. But one thing I just want to just bring to your attention here is like in this case, right, you see how he's so focused on the DaVinci logo that it's like front and center here. Here, not so much, right? Here, not so much. So he's leaning more on himself here and for the audience that he's, you know, generated with this. But on here, it's just like a straight focus in, like, bam, this has something to do with DaVinci Resolve, right? So he's making DaVinci Resolve the primary and himself the secondary focus of this one, right? And then here, he's not even in this one. And you know, you just see the logo up here and then, you know, fix this, right? So it suggests it's about DaVinci and then shows like a before and after, I guess, of, you know, what it is that's being fixed there. And if we come down here, yeah, so in light mode, right? If somebody's using light mode, yours might actually be, yours might actually stand out a little bit more. But here currently, like in dark mode, you know, he does use a lot of lighter colors and, you know, just more color and, you know, that sort of thing. So just, you know, I'm not saying you have to do that exact thing, but I'm just saying I would definitely experiment with it because, you know, right now it looks like, and this is why I wanted you to see that, it looks like you are committing to this branded look. And even though it looks great, I'm just not exactly sure yet on how, you know, how effective it is. But long term, I think it'll be fine. So you're probably okay. I would just make some minor adjustments there to the placement of, you know, where you have the logo and all of that. I would do that as a primary. And then maybe even add just like a little bump of color behind you or something like that in order to just kind of, you know, make these stand out just a little bit more in dark mode. They look great though. Like from like it just you know, like how they look standpoint, they look great. Larry says Daniel's hair is his secret sauce. Yeah, I think so. So next up here on our list. Yeah, cool channel though. Yeah, and I just clicked on the video too. Videos look good too. Looks like you're getting right into it also. That's good. So we have Tactical Mindscapes. Tactical Mindscapes, they upload 1 time per week or more, but on YouTube for less than a year. They do leadership explained with gaming content. The goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, what else can I do to convey this as a leadership, knowledge-based, or academic research and org science psychology channel? Yeah, I think that the issue that you're having is, and we've mentioned this previously also, is the clicking on it and getting games. Right? So like here, let's see if that happens again. Yeah. So like when you click on this video and you're expecting like a psychology video, and then you get a game, a commentary over a game, it kind of breaks what you expect, right? Like there's nothing here that tells you like at a glance that this is a game. Like these characters might, but they're so small you can't really tell. And then here, this looks like it might be some type of like, documentary or something like that. This doesn't make, a ton of sense. It does when there's game imagery behind it already. But if you look at this from the perspective of somebody's going to see this on their homepage and they're not going to know yet that a game's behind it, and they're just glancing around looking for things to watch, and they're not analyzing all the details of the thumbnail, they're looking to see what stands out the most to them. And they are paying attention to the things that they care about. Then in that case, this doesn't really do that. So in terms of the message that you're sharing, this fits, but in terms of what you're offering once they click into the video, that's where things are falling apart. And then here you, at least if this is a game character, I'm not sure if that's a part of this game, then at least you're being upfront here that it has something to do, there. Same thing here. This one's at least a little bit more prominent. But yeah, I think in your case, I think that you really need to lean into and just be upfront about, what X game will teach you about fill in the blank. Like that's such an easy title formula for you to lean into, where, you just get a couple of, or just a handful of structures that you use, this lesson, this thing, or what this game, teaches you about, whatever the leadership skill is. It seems like that would just be a really easy, way to put these together without having to reinvent the wheel all the time. And also a way to where you can make sure that you're using the right imagery. And even if the imagery is a little bit off, when they look at the title, it makes it, clear right there that it has something to do, with the game. So like those are the types of things that I would do, because right now, you're trying to get this stuff dialed in to where, every time YouTube shows it to the right person, they're going to be likely to click on it, right? So right now, here, real management theory in games, that did well. So, you had a real opportunity there to keep that train moving. And crisis management theory in games, this one, also did okay. This one did okay, right? But toxic leaders destroy great systems and how to clean up their mess. I would even make this more obvious that it's about games as well, because people responded well to this in terms of, like something about this, people responded to. So you could probably dial that thumbnail into, or the title, or both, in order to make that one also more impactful. But yeah, those are the things I'd work on with you right now, is just, just being upfront about what it is that they're getting into. Because I bet you in some of these that people are clicking on some of these and they're expecting, either a documentary style thing or a commentary style thing or whatever, of somebody sitting there talking about it, or maybe some, old footage or whatever the thing is. But then when they click in it and they see a game, there's going to be, some people that are going to be like, oh yeah, this isn't what I thought it was. And then they're going to back out. Metal for breakfast in the house. What's up, dude? Hope you're doing great. But basically the thing that I would work on there is just making sure, and I think this is your biggest hurdle right now, is like you're clearly, you're publishing videos, you're staying consistent, you're doing the thing, but I think that you just have this mismatch between, what somebody might expect coming into this versus, what they actually get. So I would really work on that part and really try to dial that in. And really, you've already got the game stuff that you're doing. You've already got the commentary. So I would just do a lot of experimentation right now with the packaging, thumbnails and titles, to see if you can, figure out a way to express it in a way that will align better with the viewers.
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend right now.
All right. So next up on our list here, let me get this thing going again, if it will. Yep, there we go. Okay, so next up we have By the way, if you are just joining us, I do want to let you know that we are answering YouTube questions. We're looking at YouTube channels. We're giving feedback on stuff. So if you are a content creator, which I'm guessing you are because you clicked on this, if you're a content creator, you want feedback on anything that you're doing, we don't watch videos, but we can actually look at your scene. So, so if you're like a talking head video or something, like we can look and see like, okay, what's going on here? What's it look like? Does it look like it's, like it matches the promise of the video, all those types of things? We can do that. We just don't watch the actual videos for copyright reasons. But, we can look at your thumbnails, titles, look to see, just everything it is that you're doing. We just can't watch the videos themselves. So if you do want feedback or you just have a general question, about something you're trying to figure out about YouTube, it's free to participate. All you got to do is click on the link that is at the bottom of the chat. Put your question, put your question into the form that will take you to, and then it'll pop up here, and then I answer those in the order that they are received. Stitch and Yarn Circle, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing great. Jive Dancing, what's up? Hope you're doing great. Chappy Uncut says, I got to try a few ideas. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Love it. Says, what extension are you using to highlight content? It's very clean and smooth. So it's not an extension. So this is a Mac app that I made for myself. I actually have it that I send it out to people, if you want to test it and give me feedback on it. If you're on a Mac, Manager Mike, if you're on a Mac, shoot me a DM on X and I can send it to you and you can test it and give me some feedback and because I'm going to sell this in the future. So I'll, give it to you for free in exchange for any feedback that you are willing to give. Let's see here. So next up we have Just Ask Pam, uploads 1 time per week or more, been on YouTube for 1 year or more. She does self-help, answering questions content. Goal of the channel is to be a full-time content creator. She's serving Christian women over 40. And the question is, now that I've started making videos again, I'm even more motivated to get information out to people. What is a good upload schedule to get things going? Is it okay for me to upload more than once a week, even if it's not consistent? I was thinking about doing interviews 1 or 2 times a month and putting them in their own playlist, then doing my lives every week, chopping them into several shorts and a long form or 2. Is it confusing to upload like that? There are also so many topics that I want to cover. So here's what I recommend that you do. So there's something when it comes to making content called just batch creating content. So if you have tons of ideas and tons of content ideas that you want to get out there, in that case, you can batch create videos. So you don't have to make, each, especially, with the type of content that you're making, you don't have to make a brand, like you don't have to start from scratch and, just be like, okay, so today's video day. So let me write, the script or get the bullet points out. Let me do this, then let me do this. And then once that's done, then I'm done. Instead, you can be like, okay, on, my lunch break or, while I'm preparing, for something else while I've got some downtime, I'm just going to write down all these different ideas of videos that, that I would just love to make. And then from there, I'm going to start sorting those videos by videos that I think that other people would be interested in. And then from there, I'm going to pick like the, top 25 of those videos. And then from there, I'm going to hop into YouTube search, look for ways that people might be looking for these videos. And then I'm going to start qualifying these videos. And I'm going to look at some other channels who make content like mine too and see if, people have enjoyed videos like this in the past. And then I'm going to start qualifying those videos and I'm going to put a check mark next to the ones that, that I'm going to, commit to making that I know I'm going to put on the channel. And then from there, when you go to actually, record on record day, you get ready once. Some people will wear different shirts. Some people keep the same shirt on. Just, depends. Some people change the environments. They'll change the camera angle, stuff like that. It just depends on how you want to present your stuff. But then you are like, okay, here's the one script I prepared or the one set of bullet points I prepared. So I'm going to, record that video. And now instead of taking down all my lights, moving the camera, blah, 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 now I'm going to, make a second video too. So now that I got this script out of the way, let me, go ahead and get this one out of the way. And then you go through as many as, as you can in that one day. And then that gives you the opportunity to start, working in content in batches instead of working on it, just one video at a time. And then that gives you the opportunity to put out, just real custom, designed for each individual video topic content for every long form video that you publish. And then from there, take, the clips from that content or from the live streams that you do, put those into YouTube Shorts to, bring attention to the messages that you're sharing. And then just keep that up. And then that way you can put out, more than one video per week if you want to. You can put out 2 videos a week. That gives you 8 videos per month in terms of long form videos, which means you could have 2 sessions of 4 videos or 4 sessions of 2 videos each. And then that would give you the, content that you need for that month. So with what it is that you're doing, like I wish somebody had told me this, right? Let me just pull your channel up here real quick. So like right up here, right? Like I wish somebody had told me this. So if we click into this, yeah, so you make content, similar to me in terms of, you sit there and you talk to the camera, right? So because of that, that gives you the opportunity to where if you prepare, right, if you put that time into the preparation step, then that gives you the opportunity to where you can say, okay, I'm going to, just record a handful of these, and then you can get ahead by doing that, and you can also, just make sure that you're uploading, unique content, and that will also help you get those ideas out. And if you take content and you repurpose it into long form, you can absolutely do that, but it's hard to like really learn from, right? Because you can't restructure. I mean, technically you can, but if you're clipping something, you can't restructure it as much as you can with content that you design. So if you are, if you're designing content, then you can say, okay, this is what I do when the video starts. Then I do this, then I say this, and then I'm going to show them this, and then we're going to take them through this. And you can, you can structure a video out. And because of that, when you go into your audience retention reports, you're like, oh yeah, they're not dealing with it, or they're not handling this well, or when I started talking about this, people started leaving. Then you can like learn from the real content that you're putting up, and it gives you the opportunity to iterate faster. And when you're iterating faster, then you can improve faster, and then that gives you the opportunity to also get things dialed in and grow faster. So because of that, I wouldn't necessarily do a bunch of the long form, clips there. Instead, right now, for where your channel is, I would make custom videos for it. And then use the clipping side on the shorts right now. And then once you get the momentum and all of that stuff, and once you learn what your viewers are more tuned into and what they enjoy most, then you can take that, move it over to what you're doing in your live streams. And then when you make clips out of your live streams, then it's going to be more tightly formatted in a way that you've learned from making the regular content. And then that way you're going to know what the right clips are to use. You're going to know how to pick them based on the formats that work on the channel. So that would be the approach that I would take, instead of, the clips first and then, just using them as the fillers in the long form side. I would, be more aggressive on making, let's say 2 videos a week. Doing 2 videos a week on the, like you're doing them now, and then learn from those and get dialed in there. And then once you do that, and you start picking up momentum on the channel, that's where you'll make better decisions around the clips that you're choosing to put on the channel from there, because you'll know what to look for. Tactical Mindscape, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. Yeah, Tactical Mindscape. I really do think that the real thing that would be the most helpful for you is just leaning into it, being like, what, people of all ages now and everything, they're into games. So because of that, since they are, then I'm going to just be clear, like, hey, this is we're referencing a game in some way to to do this. Like one of the cool things, and let me see if I can pull this up here really quick. Not sure if I'm going to be able to, but I'm going to try. So one thing that's really interesting when I was talking about the title formulas is I'm working on some like an extreme deep dive module on titles for inside of Tuber School. And as a part of that, one of the things that I've made in terms of part of the demonstration in that content, and I'm looking here to see if I can find it in my thing, because I made it on my other computer. I'm just using iCloud here to kind of pull it in. But I have this this thing that I made that converts every title on YouTube into a title formula. And it's so interesting when you start looking at things that way. And because then it starts like making titles like not complicated, right? Because you're like, okay, it's this, and this. Let me see if I can find it here really quick. And then if I can, then I will show you. But if I can't, then, then we'll do it another time. But let's see here. Okay, yeah, I can't find it here at a glance. And Yes, I don't have Dee to carry me at the moment, so I will come back to this later. But yeah, so basically, you know, when it comes to title formulas, it's essentially, you know, you label each part of your title, and then once you label each part of your title, it gives you the opportunity. Oh, okay. Hey, thanks for the heads up there. It gives you the opportunity to be like, oh, okay. So when I'm putting a title together, I just, you know, kind of fill in the blanks here instead of having to reinvent the wheel, you know, every time it comes up. Let's see here. So also, there were some other super chats that came in as well, so I'm going to hit those really quick. Also, Build and Fix with Mooney. My apologies, I didn't see these come in earlier. Says I tag one product for each video and shorts too, and it works. I just started a fourth wall store through YouTube. Nice. Yeah. So when it comes to fourth wall, they are removing it from the short shelf, but you are still going to be able to tag those though. David Manny, thank you for the super chat here as well. Says, in general, do poor performing shorts hurt long form content, or is it completely independent? It's completely independent. So, so you just look at them. Like, imagine that YouTube Shorts and long form content, that there are two different platforms, but they send information to each other in terms of, hey, these people watch this, so because of that, you might want to show them some of this over here and just see if, you know, see if they respond to that long form content too, and vice versa. So it's more like that. And then, of course, there's the clear pathway of the related video link. But when it comes to the poor performing short, you know, on the channel, it doesn't have an impact on the long form content. And Six Shop says, hey, fam, how y'all going? Hope all is well. So member for 18 months. Appreciate that. All is well and glorious over on this side of things.
You froze.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, we did. Look at that. Wonder how long we've been frozen for.
Well, when I got up, you weren't frozen.
So am I still frozen? Yeah, I guess so. Look at that.
Add to stage. Yeah.
Okay.
So not too long.
Am I moving? Yep,
yeah,
there we
yeah,
go.
You're moving. How weird.
Yeah, weird. Colin Michael in the house. What's up,
Hey,
dude?
Colin.
Hope you're doing great.
I think it just happened.
Yep.
How weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I was talking to Chat GPT and Gemini. I was like, yeah, I can't find the mold, but I can tell that it's in here. I can smell it. And Chat GPT was an idiot. But Gemini said, turn off the lights and take a flashlight and run it across surfaces. And I did that, and I found a bunch of mold.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I found a bunch of mold in that closet.
Oh, wow.
And that's what I was just looking at.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I found some on the bathroom wall, found some in the closet.
Okay.
So yeah, so
All right.
yeah, basically just running it down along the edge like that and shining it on there with no lights in there, you can see it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's probably everywhere.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah, so that's what I've been doing in my silence over here.
Yeah. So Tango in the kitchen says the mic is low, so I'm not sure if it's that way. If you have that turned down, D. Not
It's
sure.
normal. No, it's normal.
Okay. So Ghetto Nerd, thanks for super chat. Appreciate it.
Hey, Nikki.
Super chat.
So, so next up on our list here, okay, we did just ask Pam. So if you are seeing this video, it's because we are having technical difficulties, which means right now, while you're watching this, we are frantically running around behind the scenes trying to get everything either turned back on or trying to get something connected or trying to fix whatever seems to have happened that did cause us to lose signal or cause the tech to go down or whatever the situation happened to be. So please be patient. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Thank you for your patience.
Welcome back. We're experiencing some technical difficulties here.
Caught me right in the middle of
Some gulping.
Yep, caught me right in the middle of some gulping there. I didn't know that you were going to hit that yet.
Some gulp action going on
Oh, I
here.
didn't have the loop button turned on. That's why. Okay.
There you go.
There we go. All right. So let's see here. So next up
Hold
on
on.
our list.
Colin says, I want to see y'all run frantically behind the scenes. Yo, let me tell you
Yeah,
something.
it looks pretty much just like this.
There's
This is
no
exactly what it
frantic
looks like.
whatsoever. Do you want to know why?
Yeah.
Because I've fixed it all before.
Yeah.
Because I built every single part of this. I know where everything plugs in. I know where everything goes.
Yep.
So you know what it's like? It's it's like you're in a space station and you're trying to like get the hyperdrive going, and you know, like to go back and hit the thing. That's Nim and Live.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
You just got to hit it in that one spot. Bang.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Go back here and hit this thing, then I kick over here. It starts right back up.
Yeah. So Rewired Not Broken is the name of the next channel here. They upload 1 time per week or more, been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do tech and lifestyle content. Goal of the channel is to quit their job and to be a full-time creator. The question is, please review my channel. I'm not getting a lot of views at all. So let's take a look at what you're doing here.
That's right, the Fonz.
Nice.
Fonz hitting the jukebox.
Nice.
Yeah, that's us over here. Hey, Arthur Fonzarelli.
Okay, so here's what we are looking at here for Rewired Not Broken. Okay, so first, let's see what you say that you're offering. Here's the deal with Rewired Not Broken. This is where I rebuild the idea that you're too... Okay, so if I'm on your channel and I need some clarity, I'm not getting it here, just as a heads up, so I would try to shorten that up. All you have to do is remove this part, and then by, this part right here, you're going to be able to, let people know what's going on here. Because as of right now, if I were to watch, let's say, this video over here, this one, and then I click on your channel because I loved it, then in that case, like I don't get any context here, and I have to explore to figure out what you're doing. And if I have to explore to figure out what you're doing, I'm going to leave instead. So because of that, just keep that in mind. And I'll answer your question right here in just a second, Ghetto Nerd. But the next thing is we have the snake eating its own tail, YouTube's biggest scam. What's the Sony FX5 specs won't tell you. 5 strangers dread meeting when you're in a wheelchair. Okay, so a couple of things. The very first is... It is.
5 strangers you dread meeting in a wheelchair? That's very specific. Interesting.
So, and what you're doing right here is very common in terms of mistakes that content creators make. So this video right here, this is a, we're just going to call this one blue here because this one is for, wheelchair, wheelchair watchers. And here, 5 strangers you dread meeting when you're in a wheelchair. With this one, I would say there's probably some crossover here in terms of the viewers here. But then we have this one that is for people that are interested in cameras. Then we have this one for people that are interested in cameras. And then here, I never thought a robot could give me this much freedom. We're just going to put this one gray because that one is kind of a gray area. And then this one here is more about YouTube. So the problem here, and then here it looks like we've got... Yeah, more wheelchair education, content, which will make this one blue. Yeah, this is like another YouTube one. Yeah, so here's the problem that happens here. And you can see kind of how these string together, right? So let's say that somebody comes in on this video. Out of these 158 viewers that interacted with this video, when you publish this one, these people, if they're not into cameras, they're not going to care. And then when you publish this one here, the people that watch both of these, they're also not going to care about this. The people that watch both of these are also not going to care about this, the person that watched this, and the person that watched this isn't necessarily going to care about this or this. If we just look at the camera content, the person that watches this on the Osmo, they probably aren't going to care much about this, and they're probably not going to care much about this, meaning that when this shows up on their homepage, this shows up, in suggested videos, when YouTube's telling them like, hey, this content creator that you just watched that entire video of, they just published a new video, here it is. When this gets presented to them, they're not going to click on it. Even though you're engaged in their content or they're engaged in your content, they're not going to click on this because this isn't relevant to them. They don't care. And then right here, this one, you're more aligned, right, with these people. So, they'll probably, as long as they, are interested in the Sony FX5, you're still at least in alignment here in terms of like, okay, we've got camera enthusiasts that we're going after here. There's going to be a little bit of crossover here also when you talk about YouTube's biggest scam. But the downside of this one is we don't know if this is targeted towards content creators or just regular viewers of YouTube, right? Because we don't have that clarity here. So the problem that you currently have is that the channel's just all over the place in what it is that you're offering. So if you are consistently offering tips for people in wheelchairs, then in that case, your channel becomes a resource of content for people that are, that are navigating that. If you have a channel that is about, camera equipment and, like creator tech, then in that case, then you build a channel about that. Your channel becomes a resource of content for that. And the people that are interacting with that content, anything that YouTube recommends to them that you make, they are a good candidate for that content. So the whole idea is when you are putting this together, you want to think about like, what is it that I'm actually offering here? And who is it that I'm actually offering it to? Because right now you're segmenting things so much that you're making it hard for people to binge watch your content. Now, there are some things that align. So for example, YouTube system is smart enough to where there's a really good chance if they watch, this video here for, for wheelchairs, there's a really good chance that, they'll probably pick one of these to show them too. But the more people get engaged in your channel and into your content, the higher the likelihood they're going to start showing them some of this other stuff that doesn't matter to them. And then when they stop responding, then that starts telling YouTube negative signals that says, hey, they were engaged here, but now we're showing this content, they're not engaged. So then that, that'll make that makes videos start performing poorly, unfortunately. So because of that, I would pick your lane and be known for that thing, right? So it could be the creator tech, it could be the wheelchairs, whatever it is. I would pick the direction that you want to go in and become a great resource for that, because stuff looks cool. Thumbnails, attention grabbing, right?
Yeah,
like you understand thumbnails.
He has an aesthetic.
Yeah, you have an aesthetic. You have an eye for this stuff.
Yeah.
And you're being clear in terms of how you're focusing people on stuff and things like that. So you're doing those sorts of things well. But in terms of video to video, you make it challenging for people to binge watch your content, right? I'm just gonna click into this here and see what's going on with the videos themselves. Yeah, all this looks cool. You've got like a good setup here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like, with what it is that you're doing, like you have, that side of things. So now it's just dialing in and getting clear on it's dialing things in and getting clear and just asking yourself, okay, so I'm a content creator. If I'm a content creator, what do I want to turn my channel into? Like, what's the big picture here when it comes to my YouTube channel? What is it that I want to offer? Who is it that I want to offer it to? How can I offer it to them repeatedly? How can I make sure that every video that I publish is about something that my target viewer is going to care about? And if you can do that and you can get clear on that part, then from there, then you'll start, publishing videos that are consistently for a certain type of viewer. And then YouTube's system will be like, hey, when we show the content to these people, they respond well to it. So let's show them more of the content. And then that starts the ball rolling. So I would focus on that right now.
Good advice.
Thanks, Dee. So next up on the list here, we have Real Mom Real Estate. They upload 1 time per week or more. They do real estate content. Goal of the channel is to make money. Says, I'm trying to get better at hooks. How do I get better at this? I'm not creative when it comes to this type of thing, and most of those in my niche are not great for examples. Any tips on how to get better on this would be helpful. Absolutely. So when it comes to hooks, you have what happens visually and you have what happens audibly. So visually is what's happening on screen, right? When they first click on the video, what's happening. And then audibly can be sound effects. It can be what you're saying. So, I mean, and by sound effects, I don't mean just like whooshes and stuff. I mean, yeah, I don't mean that. I mean, like if somebody has like a channel where they are, out in nature, right? Then in that case, they might start it. If it was like a camping channel, they might start it and it shows just like a crackling fire, things like that. That's what I mean by sound effects. But basically when it comes to hooks, what you want to do is you want to think about like the easiest way to deal with hooks is you want to say, okay, if people are, clicking on this video, what is it that they're likely to expect? And this is why we recommend that you always come up with your thumbnails and titles, as long as your content type supports it, which yours does, that you come up with your thumbnails and titles before you commit to making the video. And the reason for that is so that you can be like, okay, with this thumbnail and this title, if somebody clicks on this, then they're probably going to expect to get fill in the blank, or they're probably going to expect to see fill in the blank. They're probably going to expect to hear fill in the blank. And then from there, you just go in on the other side of that and you say, okay, well, if this is what they're expecting to see or hear, how can I deliver that to them, right? Now, there's some nuance to this. For example, sometimes it might be things like stepping into the frame. It might be things like, stepping into the frame in terms of, adding a little bit of motion when it first starts. You'll see people zooming in. We're looking at, we're analyzing Dr. Mike's channel today and just looking at it over dinner. And, one of the things that he does in a lot of his videos when it first starts is he does this like zoom in effect, right? When he first starts his videos. Just like little things like that to where, when it shows up in autoplay or somebody clicks into it, it's that that jolting moment of like, whoa, something's happening here, and it just tunes you into, you know, him. So it's those types of things visually. And then also, since you are talking about real estate, you may be on camera, or you might have, you know, B-roll on camera, which is, or not on camera, but you might have B-roll, which is showcasing, you know, some real estate related things based on the conversation that you're having. And then when it comes to what you're saying, that's where you also lean into, okay, with my thumbnail and title, this is how I'm setting things up, and this is what they might expect. So then the easy way is, okay, if somebody first comes into my video, then I can just pretty much repeat the title essentially and say, like, let's say, for example, if you're going, let me actually look at your channel here.
Is she doing location specific, or is she just doing
I'll take it
general,
right here in a second.
general real estate advice?
Okay, so, you know, why people are moving to these 8 small towns. Okay, perfect. Okay, so like on this video, right, and I'll just pull up your channel here real quick just so people can have the reference.
Why people are moving to these 8 small towns?
Yeah, so here, like on this video, right, so when this opens, the option, and I haven't like actually rolled over this yet, but the option could be, you know, to where, you know, it's just showing the towns. Why, as B-roll, or as just a voiceover underneath this, you could be saying things like, you know, people are moving to these small towns. You know, a lot of, I'm working on this real time. So, you know, a lot of people are moving to these small towns. In this video, we're going to talk about why. And then you start getting into the content. And what you do there is you're matching this part right here in terms of like, hey, people are moving to these small towns. So you're saying that, and then you're putting the why in there, and we're going to talk about why so that you can open up the video in terms of, we've confirmed that what you clicked on is what you're going to get. Now we're going to start giving it to you, right? So that's what you want to think about when it comes to hooks. There's other things that you can do when it comes to setting things up. Like here, you know, what no one tells you when you're relocating from California to Texas, right? So another hook would be something like, and this is 2 years ago, so it looks like you're doing mostly shorts. But just using that one, again, as an example. So when this one opened up, it could be something like, I told you about relocating from Canada.
Don't make these 5 mistakes that most people make when they're relocating from California to Texas.
Yeah, or if you're planning on moving from California to Texas, you know, there's a lot of, you know, mistakes that you could make along the way, and we're going to talk about them in this video. Yeah. You know, those types of things, either one. But the whole thing is just looking at what it is that somebody might expect, and then, you know, confirming that they're in the right place, and then moving them through it. Now, there's additional things that you can do, like leveraging fear of loss, where, you know, you'll mention things about, you know, like Dee leaned into on the mistakes and stuff like that. Like, you can do those types of things too, to where you essentially tease things that are going to be coming later in the video. Also, that's more about retention than it is about the hook per se. But the idea is you just want to, you know, make sure that you're matching that when it first shows up. Now, when it comes to YouTube Shorts, it's a little bit different because there isn't an expectation. It just shows up in somebody's feed. So when it comes to YouTube Shorts, it's different to where you need to grab somebody's attention. So in your case, like, he thought this cheap land was a deal, right? So it pops up. You're not going to believe the situation this guy got himself into, right? So then it pops up there, and then you're putting, you know, you're basically suggesting that you're going to be telling this story about this, you know, this problem that this person had, right? So that's the approach when it comes to the vertical. And Dee, any additional tips on vertical there?
Just make sure you're making it fast. One thing I see a lot of people making mistakes with YouTube Shorts and vertical content is they're treating it like long form video, and they're just kind of like moseying through what's happening. Short form content.
Hey, if this is
fast. It's really fast. And like the second somebody swipes, if you are going to be speaking, if it is talking head type content or you're doing voiceover, the second somebody swipes in, I would be speaking. Like I would edit that right to the word. Especially, and if you don't have any visual hook going on or nothing's moving, it's just you speaking, don't waste time. And don't waste that time at the beginning of your long form either, because keep in mind why people clicked on your video. And I haven't watched your videos, so I don't know what you're doing. But a lot of people make the mistake, and this used to work back in the day, but now everything's kind of changed in terms of how we're holding people's attention. Don't have a viewer click, and then instead of like reaffirming that they made the right choice and clicked on the right video, which is essentially your hook, don't say things like, oh, hey, I'm this person and I've got this thing and we're doing this thing and welcome to the channel and all of that. You're going to watch your audience retention just nosedive. as you do that stuff. You can introduce yourself later. You can talk about what you're doing on the channel a little bit later, but make them know that they clicked on the right video and you're going to have something for them. Don't waste your time. Make it snappy, make it interesting, and you can introduce yourself a little bit later after you've given maybe just a little bit of knowledge or something where they go, okay, that's cool. Then introduce yourself.
Yep.
Just think about it from a viewer's perspective. That's
I
how
think you need headphones, I think. But yeah, go ahead.
Why?
Go.
Oh, so
Because you paused and then I hit a sound effect and then you started talking over the sound effect. Yeah.
What sound effect did you put in?
Yeah. Renee Ritchie's in the house.
Oh.
What's up, dude? Hope you're doing great.
Yeah,
He says, how mad is Dee today? Yeah, he's actually okay today.
Renee?
Yeah, Dee's in a good mood today, even though he didn't sleep a lot.
I'm so mad from last week, Renee, that I carried it with me over to this week.
Oh, I love it.
Renee. No, reverse engineer everything that you're doing and just try to view it from the lens of the viewer. Think about your own viewing experience on YouTube. When you go to someone's channel, or just forget going to their channel, just when you open up YouTube, start being aware of what gets your attention. And then say, okay, that just got my attention. Why did that get my attention? Why did I just click on that? Okay, I really like this video. How did they start this video? Why am I still watching this video 10 minutes later? What are they doing in this video to keep me watching for 10 minutes? What are they doing? I'm watching this video 25 minutes later. What are they doing? What were the first 30 seconds like? Just reverse engineer everything. Be mindful of your own viewer habits and just apply that stuff to your video. I don't want to demean this and say YouTube is easy, because I know it's not if you don't have experience. But once you start thinking of things like, okay, well, I'm a viewer too. I like to watch content. So if I just engineer my content for the...
If I pay attention.
If I pay attention and I take notes and I start to analyze how everybody else is doing things, okay, what kind of titles do they have? What kind of thumbnail imagery do they use? What's the first 30 seconds like? What's the next 3 minutes like? How do they close their videos? Why am I still watching 15 minutes later? Whatever it is. When you just start analyzing that stuff and applying it to your own content, YouTube gets significantly easier. Instead of just trying to like figure stuff out on my own and just swimming upstream and trying to reinvent the wheel. And you'll find your voice. If you're thinking, well, I want to be my own little corner on YouTube. That's cool. You can do that. You will find your voice through repetition. By putting in the reps, by getting the work in. You'll find your own voice. It might take you a while, but don't make it hard.
And your tribe.
Yeah.
And the decisions that you make are going to be dependent on how big your tribe gets.
Yeah. All the stuff works out. Just don't overcomplicate it. And you can go to another niche, right? Like, I don't know what to do with these hooks. I don't know what to do. Go to another niche that may be adjacent to yours, and just watch and see what they're doing. Okay, now that's somewhat similar. How can I apply this to what I'm doing? Yeah. Just don't overthink it. I know that sounds crazy to say, but just think from a viewer's perspective. We have so much information and data out there to pull from.
So Ghetto Nerd says, tell me about Rumble, the YouTube competitor. So I don't know much about Rumble. So the only thing that I do know, and I actually just Googled this while Dee was talking, is it looks like in 2025, they experienced, and they call it post-election normalization, and their monthly active users averaged roughly 51 million in Q2, down from 59 million in Q1. So, and what that is representing is that they are dying, or they're at least going down. I don't know about dying, but they're
Rumble's going down,
but they're going down. In addition to that, when it comes to Rumble,
I give them 5 years tops.
In addition to that, when it comes to Rumble is also has like a lot of a stigma attached to it. So it's a great place for people to go that get banned from YouTube. It's a great place for people to go that have extremist ideas and that sort of thing, or they want to.
You don't want to worry about being canceled. You don't or not being kicked off of a platform due to community guidelines violations. You want to say filth, florin, filth, and just let it all out without any worry. Rumble's your place.
Yeah, so they don't get, they're like a mosquito on YouTube in terms of the amount of viewership that they get. But some people do get a lot of views over there.
Yeah.
So if you make political content, things like that, it can be great for that. If you make conspiracy content, it can be great. If you want to mislead people, it can be good for that too. But the idea when it comes to that is that it does have a stigma attached to it. But people do get views over there. Some people do make money. So you just have to make sure you're making the right content over there. But it is something that, that you can do.
Their recommendation system over there isn't anything like YouTube. So I know a lot of people who've tried posting over there. And like Nick said, some people do incredibly well. But if you're unknown and you don't already have a brand or you don't have a way to drive people into Rumble, it can be difficult to get noticed over there.
Yeah, and I think it's funny that they also added vertical content and they call it shorts. I just realized that.
Really?
Yeah, I just pulled them up.
It?
Yeah. So they have vertical content and they called it shorts.
Renee, get YouTube's legal team to jump all over this.
Yeah. Oops. Yeah, and this is what I mean right here in terms of, just like the type of content. Like we got hacker tools over here, which by the way, I have one of these things. These are awesome. The Flipper Zero right here.
Can you not talk about what we do with this live?
These things are so much fun, by the way. But anyway, so like hacker tools, this one right here, Patriot Pals, whatever that is. And then they have shorts right here where they're literally, calling it shorts. They've even got like a similar type of, hey, here's our play button, and then here's our shorts type of logo where they're trying to ride YouTube. So you can see just the content that's being featured here. For some of this,
I'll say this. Listen, if you're I this is no shade thrown towards Rumble. I think it's great that there's an outlet for people who want to make controversial content or just be seen on another platform.
Yeah.
If you have the bandwidth to do it, go for it. Because some people do really well over here.
And they've got a lot of. It looks like there's a lot, decent amount of gaming content here also.
Gaming and everything. But if you think your content belongs on Rumble and you want to test it and you have the bandwidth to do it, do it. Test it and see. What I don't want people to do is say, okay, well, YouTube's not working out right now, so I'm gonna go just look at Rumble and do everything on Rumble or do everything on Facebook, whatever. Like, I would keep going on YouTube because you don't fail on YouTube until you quit.
Right.
Just keep going, keep going. And there could be one video that just changes the trajectory of your channel on YouTube. But if you have the bandwidth to expand out to other platforms, then I would absolutely test it. Just great, like music channels.
Yeah.
But a lot of these already have brands built around them.
Yeah. Yeah, so like we were saying before, it's a place you can get views there. But here's the thing, just to remember when it comes to content, right? Like when it comes to content, like if you have trouble, like let's say long form content, if you have trouble getting people to click on YouTube, you're gonna have trouble getting people to click on Rumble too. So like if Rumble does recommend your content to people, if you can't get them to click, you can't help them identify that the content's about something they care about, stuff like that, then the problem's gonna remain the same. So because of that, if you can learn the core things, then you'll be able to apply those core things in other places.
I'm going to say something well, first of all, Renee came in. I want to highlight this. He says the biggest superpower for a creator is being able to think like a viewer, which is
that was on the previous conversation.
That's what I was talking about earlier about trying to reverse engineer things and try to think like a viewer. If you
what are the odds of this?
What?
I just got to show this real quick.
Okay.
So I was just talking about the hacker thing, and then I opened up YouTube, and then I see Hacker Radio Live.
They're definitely not listening.
Yeah, definitely not.
That's
hilarious.
I'm going to start a conspiracy channel on Rumble.
On Rumble, talking about YouTube.
On Rumble, highlighting every single time I've talked about something weird. Like, hey, you know what we need for the room? We need like a rust-colored big pipe over there going up with like doorknobs drilled into it sideways so we can hang hats on it. Oh, look at this. There's an ad for a rust-colored thing with doorknobs and hat hangers on it. Yeah,
right.
Totally not listening to you.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So what I was going to say is, because you talked about, if you can't get somebody to click on YouTube, you might not be able to get somebody clicked on Rumble. You can't make a bad video good. If you have a good video, it could be a matter of timing. It could be a matter of just tenacity, right? I'm just going to keep making good videos until things work out and you start to see that growth. Dr. Sten Ekberg is a perfect example of that.
Yep.
He was doing, health videos, and it took him a really long time to build momentum. He was making great content, but it just wasn't clicking. It wasn't clicking. And it clicked. And where's he at now? Like 5 million subscribers.
Yeah, he's
or something
up there.
like that. He's doing incredibly well. Kevin Colby. It took him a long time to get going, and he's a fantastic creator.
Yep.
He made like 1 or 2 videos, gangbusters, right? So
I think they were. I think he started the over 40 thing for YouTube help channels.
Yeah.
So he basically became a resource for for older creators on YouTube. He was pretty sure he was the first one to do that.
Yeah, but
even though we have the handles.
That's right. That's right.
We have the YouTube handles for it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The point being that, you know, good content is going to get discovered eventually. So you just have to stick at it. But if you're making bad content, there's no platform that's going to succeed on.
Right.
You can't polish a turd. I know you've heard that statement hundreds of times, if not thousands of times. A good video will eventually break through. Good videos will eventually break through if you keep going. But bad videos,
Yeah, you need one video to start feeding the rest.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just keep going, man. Keep learning. Keep trying to improve with each video. You'll get there. I'll tell you,
Confident.
the people who fail, the people who quit, or the people who won't acknowledge that they have things to learn.
Yeah. People that just refuse to fix stuff.
People who refuse to fix stuff. Yeah. I've seen so many creators. Oh, I've been on YouTube for 10 years and I haven't made any progress and I'm doing all the things. And you look at the channel and it's like you haven't progressed in 10 years. You're still trying the same thing that didn't work from 10 years ago. So yeah, you got to have an open mind, be willing to change, be willing to hop on trends, make sure the timing is right. You got to find good ideas. If you don't know how to find good ideas, dead in the water.
Dunzel Universe De Nome, thank you for the kind words. Appreciate it. Confidence Finance, thank you for the super chat. Says thanks for all the help you guys give. Our pleasure. Oregon's Tree Gaming, member for 17 months, says what's up, everyone. Hope you are doing great. And Rewired Not Broken says thanks for the advice, guys. Thank you for the super chat. Glad that you found that helpful. So next up on our list here we have. Did we do? Yeah, we did real estate. Hey, what's up, Charlie? So next up we have Learn Spanish with Mr. Briggs is the channel here. They do daily content, but on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do educational content. Goal of the channel is to be a full-time content creator.
Hey, Ashley.
The question is, hey, Nick and Dee, just wondering, the new 8,000 watch hour requirement feels like a pretty steep uphill battle.
That's why we're mad at Renee.
Right. Says, hey, Nick and Dee, just wondering, the new 8,000 hour watch requirement feels like a pretty steep uphill battle. Can I use live streaming stations to help reach that goal on a new channel? What's the best way to use live streaming strategically to help my channel achieve that milestone before February 27th? So if you are trying to get in on YouTube monetization before February 1st, then in that case, what you need to do is you need to focus on making sure that regardless of what it is that you're doing, if it's live streams, if it is video content, either one, you need to make sure that you are making it at a level that people are responding to it. And I know that that's kind of like a, simple answer to go with, but really, like, that's what you're going for. Because I'm looking at your channel right now, and currently you are not live streaming at all. And with the current views that you have, let me see what your most popular video is. Yeah, so 539 views. So right now, I would actually spend your time really doing everything that you possibly can for the videos themselves. Because one video can make a gigantic difference when it comes to your ability to get into the partner program. Yeah. In some cases, people will do it over 10 videos. In other cases, people will do it with one. So, it just depends on how the video does. But I would work on that right now. Now, if you wanted to add live streaming to what it is that you're doing, absolutely, you can go ahead and do it. And as long as you have people participating in your live streams, then in that case, yeah, then you'll be collecting watch time for every viewer that's participating in the live stream, which can help you towards that monetization milestone. But right now, I would focus really hard on the videos themselves, because that's what you're trying to that's what you're really trying to do there. And one question that I have with this is you have learn Spanish. Oh yeah, never mind, because you are doing it with Spanish. How to ask for a beer in Spanish, how to order beer in Spanish, bar phrases and vocabulary. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, I would definitely be making sure that for every video that you're publishing here, that you are verifying that people are actively, interested in it by looking for it up here in YouTube search, hopping into Google, looking for it there, and just make sure everything that you are publishing is something that people are looking for. And they probably are, because I'm sure people are wanting to learn, all these different ways to say things. But I would definitely make sure that you verify every single video that you are publishing to make sure that that you have a lot of people, looking for that content. because when this shows up either in search or it shows up on their homepage, you want to make sure that you can, capture them based on, what it is that they want to learn. So I would look at every Spanish channel that's teaching people Spanish, and I would look at all of their popular videos over the last 90 days to see, like, okay, what are people trying to learn right now? What videos did the best? And I would be trying to go after some of those topics or adjacent topics so that you can, try to tap into those people.
Tap in.
Yeah, another thing really quick that I would also do here is if you like look at this through the lens of just glancing at it. So you have the flags in here, but they're super small, right? So let me tell you why this came up in my head. So if I'm looking at your thumbnail and I see ask for a beer as the primary thing, and then I see in Spanish as the secondary thing, then actually you are primary, then ask for a beer, and then Spanish. I would try to prioritize the Spanish part because really that's who you're trying to connect with. So one thing that I would try to do is, not that I would try to do, is I would experiment with, is right up here at the top of all of these, and I'm guessing that you're using AI for these, but at the top of all these, I would have like Spanish lesson, right? I would have that going right across the top up here. And then that way it makes it to where you're going to grab the attention. And then when their eyes come over here to start reading this, they're going to see Spanish lesson right up here at the very top. And of course, in this case specifically, ask a beer would be lower, right? Because the Spanish wouldn't be there. But, Spanish lesson, and then a little arrow, ask for a beer. Then that way it makes it just ridiculously obvious.
I want to jump in on this.
Hold on. But that makes it just ridiculously obvious that it is a Spanish lesson, which is what it is. Another thing also is you have here where you have something written in Spanish. So if somebody's learning how to read it, or how to say it, but they're not learning how to read it, then this might not mean anything to them either. So I hope when I'm looking at this that you're not mixing languages, on here. I mean, I guess you're you have to in the actual content itself, but in terms of how to say give me a hand in Spanish. Yeah, make sure this is in English here. Like if you're trying to teach English people Spanish, then in that case, make sure this is, that this is all in English. But I would highlight the fact that it's a Spanish lesson. Go ahead, Dee.
So I've watched scroll back up. Don't scroll away.
Okay.
I watch all kinds of content, different languages to pick up stuff when I'm getting ready to travel somewhere. And at a glance, based on the thumbnail here, if I see ask for a beer, ask for a beer in Spanish. Okay. Number one, you're targeting now I understand your title, but I'm just talking about the thumbnail. This is what I'm going to see first, right? If YouTube's like, hey, check out this video. You've been researching Spanish stuff. Look at this video. This is like, I have to be interested in drinking beer before I'm interested in watching this video. Number one. Number two, which is going to narrow the amount of people versus if you were to talk about, instead of bar phrases, people have to go to bars, but everybody
Those might be travel vocabulary though, because I would say a majority of people probably do.
But travel vocabulary is different than
bar
phrases.
vocabulary. Yeah,
right.
You're
So
right.
I'm just thinking about frame it for a wider net. Everybody needs to eat. Everybody needs to travel. So restaurant phrases, perhaps, or necessary travel phrases instead of bar phrases. Now, because you're trying to build momentum. Now, that's the first thing, right? I have to be interested in a beer and going to bars before I care about this video. But that's not the main thing. At a glance, ask for a beer. It's 10 minutes. I don't need to watch a video for 10 minutes to learn how to ask for a beer. That's, you know what I mean? Like
It's a better short.
Yeah, man, right. Now, I know you go into that deeper, but at a glance, I'm seeing ask for a beer, 10 minutes, no thanks. That's insane. Ask for help, the next one, then you just told me what to ask. I don't need to click on the video. I don't need to watch your 11-minute video asking for help because you just wrote in Spanish what it is.
Is that how you say? Help me?
Yeah, you can say that. So
Dame uno mano is help.
Right. So just be mindful of how you're packaging things to make sure you're throwing a wide net to where you're not isolating these ideas to where I have to care about just this one particular thing, and be mindful that you're not telling me what their answer is before I even click on the video. Because I can just look at it and say, okay, I don't need to spend 11 minutes of my life watching this video when you just told me what it is. I can figure out how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I would
just-
also just lean more on just being clear this is a Spanish lesson too.
And I don't think I would put flags on everything. And like if you're putting something in the title and you want to talk about the differences in different Spanish between like Cuba and Colombia and Venezuela and Spain or something like that, maybe go into that. But in terms of all these different flags, I feel like it's just a distraction. Like if I'm interested in Spanish, I'm going to watch a Spanish video.
Yeah, if you're making travel content there, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
And in some cases, you know, you might want to do that anyway, but making it clear that it's a Spanish lesson in the thumbnail. Like one thing that I like to show people is like, if we come here and we take away your titles.
Hold on one second. If I don't know what these flags are, they're just a distraction.
Yes.
Just keep that in mind. You know what they are.
Yeah. But like, if we take away your titles, right? Like, does this say that it's a Spanish lesson, right? Like in terms of like a priority thing. Right. So like you're saying I like wrong. This one right here has zero context that this is a Spanish lesson. Right. Ask for help. This also has zero context. It's a Spanish lesson. How natives ask for numbers. Zero context that it's a Spanish lesson. This 3-word phrase stops them. Zero context that it's a Spanish lesson. Fake teachers ruin your Spanish. There's a hint of it right here. Speak Spanish in class fast. Okay, this one. Okay, we're a Spanish lesson here.
There you go. Yeah.
Say this. I agree in Spanish. Hints at it. 7 must-know Spanish phrases. Yes, that tells me that it's Spanish, right?
Yeah.
So the idea is that you just want to make sure that even if your titles didn't exist, that it would be, because the whole thing is you're trying to grab people's attention with these thumbnails, right? They're like ads for your video essentially. So since you're trying to grab their attention with these thumbnails, then in that case, making sure that it's crystal clear that this is a Spanish lesson with just the thumbnail, so that they can, so that will grab their attention, and then they can look at the title to see the details. That's what you're trying to do here. So I would focus on that, and go ahead and live stream too. But I would focus on that if you are trying to, get into the partner program right now.
I concur.
Bye, Penny Morgan. Welcome to the Niminati. So just a heads up, we have a Facebook group if you are interested in that. We also have a Discord as well. I'm going to put up on the screen here in just a second if I can find it. Banners, there we go. So if you go to niminvip.com, it's going to send you over to the Facebook group. The Facebook group isn't terribly active. Sometimes we'll go in like little spurts where it's active over there. But when it comes to questions, things like that, in the Discord, it's like threaded conversations. So if you have, if you need help of some kind there, then you can ask a question there, and it's threaded. So then we can just have the conversation there. So make sure that if you're interested in Facebook, that you do go join that. And if you're interested in Discord, go join that as well. So next up, we've got working on it. So we have EV Smoke ATX. It's the next channel. They upload 1 time per week or more. The type of content here is Tesla EV racing, electric vehicle technology, and they talk sustainable energy topics. And they say, I feel since back in the past I used YouTube pay promotions. It gained subscribers, but now I've been stopped and found that wasn't the right thing to do. How do I fix it? Because I consciously have a problem with subscribers, constantly looking. Yeah, it says consciously. Constantly looking, and I feel that it's affecting my reach. So how to fix broken subscribers from not using promotions anymore from the past. Okay, so let's just look at your channel and see what it is that you have going on.
Are you pulling them up?
Zach Talks Tech. What is up, my man? Hope that you are doing great.
What's going on?
And hey, thanks for the super chat. Says, hey, can we talk about how great the YouTube editor is? Wow.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good feature to have, especially when you're like needing to blur stuff out or cut stuff out or whatever the thing is. Yeah, it's great for that. He also mentions, Dee, that we need more creator mix.
Are you pulling them up?
I was just seeing if you would say anything about him wanting more creator mix. I didn't know if you had any plans for anything there.
Yeah, there's more coming.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, got that. Okay, clear. Okay, so here looking at the Tesla channel, let's see what it is that they have going on. So just as a heads up, you may or may not know this, but your channel art's getting cut off here. So it's good. It's just best practice. Like when you're uploading thumbnails for anybody that's using AI for anything, or if you're making stuff on your phone, that sort of thing. It's just a really good idea that when you update something that you go look at it across all devices so you can see how it's displayed. So look at it on a TV, look at it on a TV, look at it on a phone, and look at it on a computer. And then that way you can see things like this where you can see that everything's getting cut off here. The thing that matters most, though, is in view. You know, one-on-one Tesla plaid drag racing, right? So you do have that, and that is the most important thing in here. So you do have that, but it looks janky because all this stuff is getting cut off, right? So so definitely work on that when you get the chance. In addition to that, when it comes to your thumbnails, yeah, this is way too much on your thumbnail.
Oh,
so when it comes to
Overload.
when it comes to thumbnails, I mean, you know, you'll see thumbnails like this work sometimes, but this is way too much. What you want to think about when it comes to your thumbnails is these are made to grab somebody's attention. It looks like they're uploading at a small size too. So these are made to grab people's attention. When you have a million things on a thumbnail for people to look at, it's hard for them to focus anything anywhere, right? So it's like, okay, well, what do I even look at here? Because there's just stuff all over the place. So step number one is to simplify what it is that you're doing with your thumbnails. Shark Trapper says, what app are you planning to create during your flight over to Vid Summit? I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. If you have any requests, let me know. But yeah, so like all of this right here, it's just way too much. This one is much cleaner, right? New update, you know, race ready. But even with this, you know, I would also focus it more on the Tesla itself because you're trying to get in like the little Tesla mini truck four-wheeler and stuff like that. If the channel or the video, I mean, is about, you know, racing this Tesla, then in that case, I would just make sure that the Tesla, that you have a nice cool shot of the Tesla or just a nice clean shot of the Tesla, because this is going to be the thing that's going to grab people's attention. And then you're letting them know here that, you know, hey, is this race ready? And I wouldn't even worry about new update unless the update is about, you know, like a software update that Tesla did or something like that. But if you meant this as an update for your channel, oh, never mind, software updates and suspension work. Yeah, you're good there. But yeah, you have up here race ready, but then the Tesla's kind of being hidden by some of these other, you know, items. Let's see here. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Larry mentions that after the update, that all the hovers that I do when I'm looking here, they'll all count as views.
That's funny.
So yeah, so I'll just sit here and just go like this and give people extra views when we pull them up.
Enjoy your views, everybody.
Like, hey, during that stream, I just got like 30 extra views.
Right.
Yeah.
Every time I go into Nim and Live, I end up with a whole bunch of views. That's wild.
Oh goodness. Okay, so so you know why people, you know, attack Tesla, Black Tesla owners. Are we still supporting the brand? Okay, I see the message that you are doing there, but this is another one, right? Like, you know, but don't they have real reasons? Yeah, you got all this like extra stuff going on down here. Like, think of your thumbnail as if you were standing on the side of the road and you could only write a few words to grab somebody's attention to tell them about, you know, this channel or this video. That's what your thumbnail's for, right? Like, if you're going to put words in it, like those are the words that you would write. And, you know, somebody's going down the highway. We'll just say a Tesla's flying down the highway at whatever the max speed is, and they're coming around a corner, and you're going to be standing there as they're flying around that corner, and they can just look over for a second, read that sign, and then keep on trucking. Then whatever text is on that sign,
That's very descriptive.
Yes, and then whatever's on that sign, like that's what you would put there, something that they'd be able to read quickly while they were flying by. And then when it comes to the imagery, you want to make sure that you have Tesla here, so that's good. That one's kind of front and center, and you have the Tesla logo, which is good. But I would also put emphasis more on the car than I would on you, right? Because when it comes to you, right now with where the channel's at, well, I don't know, you got 15,000 subscribers, so yeah, they might recognize you actually. So this might be good for, you know, when you initially publish the video, having you on there, so that might actually be okay. But I would put more emphasis on the Tesla itself. Tesla, then what? This is why Tesla owners are switching. Yeah, some of these are okay, right? Like, and even with this one, you know, I would also put the emphasis on the Tesla itself, because you have here not a Tesla, then what? So you're carrying some of the weight there with the words. But, you know, for the interior here, you can tell that that's a Tesla, but you have to look at it for a second. This is another one where I would make it, you know, more clear, kind of like how this one is more clear, right, with the Tesla over here. And you can even see with some of these, and I'm sure there'll be some that break the rules, but like this one right here where the Tesla is like front and center, this one's got like 424 views on it.
Yeah.
Right? This one here where the Tesla is almost front and center, 243.
Think about...
And then when it comes to everything else, the closest one here is another one that focuses the most on the Tesla. But this stuff's kind of in the way with 154 views. Go ahead, Dee.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on it. You know, I mean, he has, what'd you say, that's 15,000. So you do have people that recognize you, which is great. But just think about, you know, at a glance, within a split second, is the imagery in your thumbnail something that your viewer cares about, right? Are they going to notice you first, or are they going to notice the car first? If they know you, then putting yourself in the thumbnail and larger and being, you know, most of the attention, then that works in your favor. But if somebody doesn't know you yet, they're going to be more interested in the car. So I would just try to make sure, you know, test balances on that to make sure you're not weighting one thing over another.
And I'm not sure if these are the videos that you did the promotions for. But when it comes to YouTube promotions, like, you know, it's real common for people to do what you did there with YouTube promotions. And, you know, it's not going to be something that's going to be like, you know, held against you or anything like that. The problem is when you do YouTube promotions, if you don't know how to get, you know, like if some of the stuff that we were talking about, right, in terms of grabbing the viewer's attention so that they'll read the titles, so that they'll see that the content's for them, and then if they're interested in the topic that you expressed through the title, then they'll click on it and come in and watch the video. So just like we were just explaining all of that, if you don't have those things dialed in, but then you run promotions, then what happens is you get all these like extra views coming into the channel, but then if you still can't get them to respond to that next video, it doesn't do anything for you, right? It works against you. So because of that, you know, you have to get the imagery stuff dialed in and make sure that the topics are in alignment, make sure that they can clearly and easily identify the content about something that they care about. And then once they click into the video, you also have to make sure that you're creating a great experience for them there. And then once you fix those things, then from there, you know, your videos will, you know, start doing better when it comes to the long form. But all this stuff, you know, just takes work. You know, it takes work. It's a process. And I see that, you know, like your shorts, you know, some of these, you know, do better, but you have, you know, some shorts here that have done well also. And even in your shorts, you can see with these two, like a lot of the shorts that have done better, the more popular shorts, you know, they even feature the car, right? So you have this one here that doesn't, these two, but like, you know, this features the interior, these feature, you know, real strong feature on the outside of the car. So yeah, so lean into that imagery, man. It's the thing that's going to help people, you know, identify that this content is about something that they care about.
Yep.
So really quick, a couple things I do want to remind you of. So if this is your first time here or you just haven't heard the message yet, Dee and I have a school for YouTubers called Tuber School, where we help content creators with all kinds of different stuff around their channels. We're helping people grow. We're helping people, you know, navigate brand deals. We're helping people get their thumbnails together, helping people write better titles, helping people with content strategy, like all the stuff that you have to do as a content creator. If that is something that you're interested in and you need that, you know, extra help and extra support with your channel, then you can go to tuberschool.com to check out more about that.
Good
let's
times
see
in
here.
there too.
It is, yeah. We also have some casual stuff we do in there also. So we have like, you know, some streams that we do that are, you know, 97%, you know, all business. 98.2% all business.
It's 98.2%.
Yep. And then,
good stuff.
And then there's an office hour stream that's a lot more casual. That's in the middle of the week. And with that particular one, it's more, you know, just solving different problems and things like that. You know, Dee hosts that particular one. And it's, you know, like anything that doesn't fit into the, you know, into the other things that we're doing. You know, a lot of solutions are coming out of that too. But those are more casual and, you know, fun, but also helpful as well. So definitely check it out. Let's see here. So one thing really quick, Dee, what do you think about giving away a VidSummit ticket right now?
Is it that time?
It's that time. Yeah, I think we are at VidSummit ticket time right now.
Is it?
Check your watch. Hold on.
Damn, it is VidSummit ticket
Look
time.
at that. It is VidSummit time.
VidSummit
Holy cow,
time.
look at that. It's time for VidSummit tickets.
Right there.
Yeah, oh my gosh, it says
VidSummit
VidSummit
ticket
o'clock. Look
Yeah,
at that.
VidSummit o'clock. It's
VidSummit
time to
o'clock
give
right now.
It is time to give away some in-person tickets to VidSummit. Now, tell them about what they have to do and let them know what they need to be doing on their channel in order to qualify.
Okay, so when it comes to these tickets, thank you so much, Dee, for the reminder on that. So when it comes to these tickets, here are the things that that we are requiring for these. So the very first is that you have to upload content on a regular basis. Doesn't matter to me if it's shorts, doesn't matter if it's long form, doesn't matter if it's live stream, but you have to actively be doing YouTube. It also doesn't matter to me if you are consistently publishing once a month, it's fine. Right? If that's your, if we look at your channel, it's like, okay, it looks like they have a schedule here. It's not, you know, weekly, but it's like once a month they're publishing. And again, doesn't matter, you know, the content, but, you know, we want that consistency because VidSummit is for people that are, you know, doing this. So because of that, you know, yeah, you have to be consistent. Number two, if you win, you have to contact me either via email, which I'll share the email with you if you win. I mean, I'll share it once, you know, we pick the winners. But you have to contact me via X, through a DM or through an email within 7 days so that we can get everything, you know, sorted for you. And with that, if you do not contact me within 7 days to claim your ticket, then it goes back into the pool of the tickets that they've, you know, given us. And then, you know, that ticket will be won by somebody else, you know, in the next stream. So because of that, just make sure that you qualify there. In addition to that, when it comes to VidSummit, it's happening in Dallas, Texas, September 29th through October 1st. So because of that, if you cannot make it to Dallas, Texas, September 29th through October 1st, then in that case also, you know, don't put whatever the trigger word is that we put into the chat, whatever that is, don't do it if you can't make it to Dallas, Texas, September 29th through October 1st. So for those of you that are not familiar with VidSummit, you don't know what it is. VidSummit is a conference for content creators. It's where we all come together every year in Texas. It used to be in LA, but now it's in Texas. But we come together in Texas and we share what we know with each other. And we share what we know with the participants, and everybody is there to help each other out. There isn't anything, you know, where people like are looking, hey, how many subscribers do you have and things like that. None of that matters. We're all peers at VidSummit. It's not a place where you go to like fan out on people. It's a place where you go, it's a professional event where you go there to, you know, learn, you know, all of this stuff. And you also go there to network with other content creators, and you go there, you know, as somebody that's trying to get the most out of your YouTube channel. So if this is something that you're interested in, even if you don't win, go to vidsummit.com. That's where you can learn more about this. And also, if you can't physically make it to VidSummit, they're also going to have replay videos available that we'll share more about later as well. And that's also going to be available, I believe, as the event's coming out, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. But they will have them after the event. So as long as you meet those criteria and this is something that you're interested in, then in that case, we are going to do the giveaway now. And how this works is we are going to put, and I got to pull my stream up here so I can use our giveaway tool here. So how this is going to work is I'm going to pull, let me pause my thing here. So I'm going to put a word up on the screen. When I put that word up on the screen, all you have to do is put that word into the chat. When you put that word into the chat, then this is going to collect you know, people that have put that word into the chat, and then, then we're going to go from, there.
All right.
So the very first word that we're going to put into the chat here is VidSummit 2026. And again, with this is happening.
Original.
I know,
you have
right?
To use that
Yeah, I had to dig deep for that one, right?
Jeez.
But yeah, so with this one, you know, again, this is happening in Dallas, Texas, September 29th through October 1st. Yeah, I'm pumped. Got all my tickets booked, like ready to rock and roll for VidSummit. But one of the cool things about VidSummit, actually, there's several. So first is there's been like major wins when it comes to VidSummit. So we've had people on this stream that they've won tickets before, and like now they're like, you know, large, you know, content creators. And, you know, like there's actually one person, Natalie is one of the examples that I love to give because she's really taken things, you know, she's really taken advantage of the opportunity. Is she even put out her own tool set for women. So she's she like shows people how to like redo stuff in their houses. And as a part of that, she built her own tool set, and she sells her own tool set in like stores and stuff because of you know, because of the path that she took through all of this stuff. It's wild. But in terms of the impact that it can make, it can be absolutely massive. So if you are, you know, interested in that, then definitely make sure that you participate here. And also, in addition to this, also we have where, you know, even during the event, right? Because you have the event itself, and then over the period of time that you're there, we also like it's nonstop essentially the whole time you're there. So basically, you wake up. And then you're having coffee, whatever. You're talking to creators. Then you go over to the events. You're doing, you're going to the different sessions. You are, hanging out outside of the sessions. You're, talking to other creators there. After the conference is over, then there's different events that happen. In addition to that, right across the street, there's like different like restaurants and stuff that people are hanging out at. And with this, it is just constant. You just fully immerse yourself in being a content creator for a few days. It's pretty incredible. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and
thing, man.
Yep.
I'm tired of hearing about it.
Here
Just
we go.
spin it.
Yep. Here we go. Let's go.
They know what it is. You've been hanging out here. You know what VidSummit is.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. And it is Old Barn Photography 2025.
Right.
So let's take a look at Old Barn Photography. Just make sure that they are uploading. Congratulations, Old Barn Photography. And we are going to see it. Here it is right up here.
You better be taking pictures of old barns.
Let's see here. So go to channel. And Old Barn Photography 1 month ago, 2 months ago, 8 months ago. Okay, let's see here. We uploading some shorts.
We got
8:20. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like they just started, kind of back at it again.
Close enough.
So that's
yeah.
okay. Yeah, you're uploading now, and a month ago, and then you uploaded a couple of days ago here for a short. So you are heading in that direction. So that's good. So yeah, so all you have to do is congratulations. All you have to do is send me a message on DM. So just look for Nick Nimmin on X and send me a DM there, or send me an email at asknimmin@gmail.com. I'm going to screenshot this really quick. Oops.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Just so I have it in my thing here so I know. And if for some reason, if you can't make it, just let me know, right? Just send me a message and let me know. And then that way, we can make sure that we, give it away on the next stream. But as long as you can make it, then, make sure that you do shoot me a message, and then we'll get everything set up for you. And congratulations.
Did we get all the super chats? Did you go through them all?
I think so. I'm going to, yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yep, we did. Yep. Oh, you saw the message in
It just
Billy there?
just came through.
Yep.
Okay. Moving on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Build and fix with Mooney in the house. What's up, dude? Hope you're doing great. Okay, that one is okay. So next up on the list here.
I just want to say, like, Old Barn Photography.
Mm-hmm.
After you go to VidSummit, and you have a really good understanding of what you should be doing on your channel, I want to see some of the best pictures of barns I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Yeah. Just really
Or
cool
videos. Well, I guess it is
barns.
photography.
Right.
Yep.
Just really a cool old barns. Mm-hmm. We had a barn at one time. We were really young. Mm-hmm. Old red barn.
Yeah, How To Repair says they enjoyed Tube Fest in the UK. They said it was very beneficial this year, and they'd love to see more of them in Europe. Yeah, I think it'd be cool, like for VidSummit, like in the future, to do like a VidSummit like Europe, VidSummit Asia. Like I think that would be awesome. I don't know if that's in their plans or on their roadmap, but I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So next up on the list here, okay, so that was EV Smoke. And also, by the way, if you are in the UK, like getting to Texas, like that's not even a big deal.
Yeah.
It's like running down the street on a global scale, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I laugh at people who are like, oh, I'm in Tennessee. Texas is so far away.
Right.
We're in Asia.
Yeah.
We're on the other side of the world.
It's like you could walk there.
Yeah.
Like literally you could walk there. Like you
Yeah.
could start walking, like, I don't know how long it would take to walk from
I don't know,
Tennessee
but I
to
would
Texas.
ride my motorcycle from Tennessee to Texas.
Right. Yeah, that's like, yeah.
Here's the trade-off. You can drive a motorcycle from Tennessee to Texas, or you can fly from Asia to Los Angeles, and from Los Angeles to Texas, and then go from Texas back to Los Angeles, and Los Angeles back to Asia.
Right.
While you're routing through Taiwan.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll drive the motorcycle.
Yep. All day.
All day
Yep.
long.
But I do like the in Asia starting point though. That's the win. Yeah, I think on that one. All right. So let's hear.
Monique says Poland. Monique, this is we were talking about Poland during.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were
during dinner tonight.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, I forgot that you were in Poland. No excuses.
So next up, Severed Soul is the name of the channel. They upload 1 time per week or more, been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do true crime documentaries. Goal of the channel is to be a full-time content creator, and the question is, I'm really struggling with click-through rate. I try to copy what already works in my niche, screenshots from body cam footage with a record overlay, but nothing seems to work. I'm at 2,260 watch time hours in 365 days, and I really want to reach 4,000 by February 1st. Any advice, please?
Please.
So let's check out what you got going on here. Official Severed Soul.
And while you're doing that, so Silent Walking says, should I allow shorts remixing?
It's up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your call. Like that's a decision, right? Like if you want people to be able to, remix your shorts and, react to them, stuff like that, then sure. If you're like, yeah, I don't want anybody being able to use my stuff for any, reason, then in that case, no. Renee says that click-through rate is one of his favorite metrics. It causes so much confusion. Man, you know what? That would be a great Creator Insider video.
Yeah.
Like, just because that's something that you are, clearly interested in, that would be a great Insider video to where you deep dive into that, just to add, that clarity that you think people need for that. I think that'd be a great addition to the Creator Insider channel if they would sign off on that.
I agree.
Or if he would sign me, I guess it's up to him. I'm over there. I'm not
Renee
sure.
calls the shots over there.
Mm-hmm.
When I was talking to the people at YouTube, I said, who calls the shots over there? And they said,
Talking to the people at YouTube.
they said Renee Ritchie calls the shots when it comes to the
See,
Creator
when you were talking to
Insider
Renee.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I
Well,
called the shots over
when
there.
when I'm talking to somebody on YouTube, I was talking to Renee. And I said, who calls the shots over there? And he said, I do.
That's great. Gregor Brown in the house.
Hey,
What's up, dude? Hope
Gregor.
you're doing great. So let's see here. See what's got going on. Okay.
He's stoked to make it, yeah.
Okay, so this looks like it's true crime, not necessarily like body cam stuff. Yeah, so I'm not sure. Hold on. Chris Watts killed his family and blamed her. Police body cam deep dive. Okay, that one's body cam. Security camera that ruined his life. Okay, this is cameras too. Hold on. True crime channel for true crime fans. So are all of these yeah, I guess so, a little bit. Yeah, so yeah, with these being true crime, I think that, it was an accident, stuff like that. I think all that's fine. Caught on camera, that probably does the trick there. This security camera that ruined his lie, Chris Watts. So it might not be your actual thumbnails that are the issue in some of these. Like in this one right here, the security camera that ruined his life. Because this is more about the camera than it is the person. So because of that, just reframing this to be more about the person might be something to try on this one. And then here we have the Andrew Kamer case, the trend tragedy of baby Evelyn Kamer. Yeah, I think this is a better one in terms of, you're being more clear on, who the case is about. But another thing to keep in mind when it comes to these is the names are fine, but also having something in here that might tell a little bit of kind of what's, like creating a curiosity gap of some kind in terms of, what might have happened here, right? Because, like, for example, for people that don't know who this person is and haven't followed this case, then this isn't really going to be meaningful for them in any way. But if you build it up around, kind of what happened, and then maybe you mention, the Andrew Hammer case at the end, then in that case, that might give you the opportunity to capture people's attention around the event more so than, the Andrew Kamer case. Because the qualifier for this is, one, they have to know who Andrew Kamer is in order for this to matter to them.
I don't know who it is.
And then you also have the twin tragedy of baby Evelyn Kramer. And I also don't know who, that is. And if somebody sees this and they don't know who these people are, the only thing that you have with this in terms of the chance is the tragedy of, right? So the tragedy of might be the thing that captures them, but all the stuff that is just kind of prominent with all of this isn't really, that clear when it comes to, what this is about. So when it comes to your channel, I would work on that kind of stuff. Like right down here, right? We can actually see it in practice right here. Dad kills his father, hides body for 2 years. The real story for true crime fans. And that one got 1.2 thousand views on it, right? Here, you did something similar. This one didn't do that well, right? But this is the type of thing, more in alignment with what I'm talking about, of making it more about, the situation than the actual person. So I know that in true crime, like, the people can also carry a lot of weight and get a lot of attention. However, I would reframe some of these more around making them a little bit more broad and easy for people that are into true crime content to respond to. So one thing that I would do is for the other channels is I would, because you mentioned that you're doing all the things that the other channels are, is I would go and I would start breaking all of their titles down into formats in terms of, the, fill in the blank, that fill in the blank, yeah, like I would go look at the actual, formats that the other channels are using and see like where they're positioning names, all of that as well. So that you can, start getting together some like real formulas that you can lean into for some of these titles. And then also keep in mind when it comes to the videos, so people, might be clicking on these at first, but you also have what happens after they click on it too, right? So people often will just blame everything on, people clicking on the video. And sometimes that is the case. But other times, people do click into it, but when they click into it, they quickly leave. And that tells YouTube that it's not a, good experience for that viewer. And because of that, it doesn't do well.
Dude. You don't have it up.
Oh, oops. That's hilarious. Through all of that, I didn't have the channel up. Oh, that's great. Thanks, Dee. So basically, if somebody clicks in here, let me back up here just so everybody can see what I was talking about there. So this is the name thing that I was talking about right here. And this is the security camera thing that I was talking about as well. This right here is the one that I said did well by framing it around the situation. But with this one, they framed around the situation, but it still didn't do well. So the big idea I was trying to express is just making it more clear that it is, true crime and not having those additional qualifiers in there. And then one of the things that I was mentioning here, like in this one, is if people, do click into this, but then, what they expect to get isn't happening inside, then in that case, if they back out, then that can, also harm the reach of this video as well. But keep in mind, it's only been on for, 3 days, so it might end up being fine. That's hilarious. I went through all that and it wasn't even showing. Yeah, and Renee said, instead of thinking about, what you're doing the same, think about, what you could be doing way better. What are gaps that you could fill? What would make viewers super satisfied? Excellent tips, as always. Tango in the Kitchen says, see my comment in the chat.
Super chat.
Not sure which one that is.
Hey, Melinda. See the question.
Hey, Melinda.
In the chat. How far back? Do you
Not
see
sure.
It? Okay, I'm going to look backwards. Doug, can you help me find the find what she's talking about? That would have been a great time to ask your question again. No, we have to go back.
So next up, we have Teacher Troy. So Teacher Troy uploads daily content, but on YouTube for less than 1 year. It is a Learn English channel. Goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, how can I get better? Honest review of my channel. Okay, let's take a look.
Just Tango in the Kitchen, can you just please write it again? Just write it here in the chat. Hey, Carlos, good to see you, man.
Hey, what's up, Carlos?
Tango, did you put it in the chat or did you put it in the form?
Okay, so let's hear. How can I get better? Just a review of my channel. So let's take a look.
Hey, don't forget to pull this one up.
So this is Teacher Troy. So let's hear real English slang. Learn it while we walk together. My day in English. The phrasal verbs you hear every day. Okay, so you're teaching people English. Welcome, I'm Teacher Troy. Canadian in the south of France, teaching natural, slow English using comprehensible input. Okay. Yeah, so instead of just like English, I would have like Learn English, and I would also style these up in a way. I like that you have English on here. Like I think that's good, but I would also just make it, like a color, right, so that it's clear that it's the same, word. And then I would also position these so that the English is just easier to read because these look cool, and I like how, from a stylistic standpoint, how you're using that as like branding.
Yeah.
But the downside of it is because you're breaking it up a little bit. I mean, you can see it, but because you have this colored differently than this, and then you also have to break the words up in order to put yourself in front of it. Just from a readability standpoint, it just kind of breaks down a little bit. So I would fix that. Go ahead, Dee.
I want to jump in on this.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you're teaching English, that's what you're doing, right? If you're teaching English, someone who doesn't have a full grasp on English yet might not catch what you're doing with your clever thumbnail, right? Because you're trying to be, I think it looks cool. I get it, right? The EN for English, it makes total sense to me. But if you're trying to teach someone English at a glance, they might not catch that. There's a thing where sometimes you just need to simplify stuff and not be too clever. So I think it looks cool. Stylistically, it looks cool. I think you got a whole thing going. I just don't know if that's the right way to do that for people who are learning English. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, and if you're going to put English on here anyway, you might as well drop a lesson right underneath it. Like if you're going to use this repetitive theme, then drop in just lesson right underneath there, right? Might also
English
be
lesson.
the thing.
Yeah.
So then that way, like just having like you over here on the side, and then English lesson.
English language lesson.
Yeah, anything like that. Yeah, would just add just a little bit of clarity there.
Yep. It's a cool thing though. I like it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's like clever, and,
Yeah.
it does stand out. But I think it does, because words are separated and stuff like that. I think it might cause a little bit of confusion there.
Yeah. Something
So
to test.
so I would definitely play with that a little bit and see if that helps.
Yep. Test it. Yeah, so it's possible, Tango in the Kitchen, that YouTube is filtering out whatever you're trying to say. So,
Yeah, if you're trying to put a link or anything like that, just spell it out instead. So another thing too, just while we have this up, is like my day in English, the phrasal verbs you hear every day. Also, change some of these around to where it's also more viewer focused in terms of what they might get out of watching the video. Because right now this is about you and people are still responding, which is great. But like on this, when you say 15 English phrases you'll actually use, it would be better to lead the video with this, or the title with this, right? So when you come into this, like the rule of thumb is that when you are putting titles together on YouTube, you front load the stuff that matters the most to the viewers, right? So if you want to put the My Life in France stuff up here, then in that case, or A Day in My Life in France, then leading it with the thing that matters to the viewers most, right? So then that way, oops, I just caused the whole thing there. But basically, that way you are front loading it with the things that the viewer cares about the most and the thing that's going to matter the most to them. And then if you wanted to have The Day in My Life in France, then you're just putting that at the end, right? And then you could even add additional value to this. Instead of it being, A Day of My Life in France, it could be 15 English phrases you'll actually use. And then, applied to my day of life in France, right? So then that way it suggests that you're going to be taking them through your day and then showing them how you're actually using the stuff that you're going to be teaching them. So I would do those sorts of things when it comes to the packaging.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So next up on our list, we've got... Okay, she says, I was going to do it as a super chat, but that doesn't give me a super chat over $2 for some reason. Did she get it in there yet for the question?
I haven't seen it yet. Doug's
Yeah,
trying
OD
to-
Dancer says that the thumbnails look like glish, and I wouldn't understand that. Yeah, that was some of the things that we were mentioning there because, that clarity is the win. Like Build with Mooney says, clever doesn't work on YouTube. Yeah, you want to try to be as clear as you possibly can. When it comes to curiosity gaps and stuff like that, that's different. But in terms of, like when you're doing things like that to capture attention, yeah, you just want to be as clear as you possibly can. So next up, we have Night Spell. Night Spell uploads when they have time, but on YouTube for less than a year. They do music content, golden channels to make money. And the question is, it just says, thanks, everyone who enjoy from Villain Music.
Villain music?
Yes, they don't have a question in here, so I'm not sure what I'm
right.
supposed to do there.
All right.
So
thumbs up
next
to
up,
Villain music.
Next up, we have Tatted Explorer. I remember them from earlier. They upload every other day. Been on YouTube for 1 year or more. They do shorts and Thai street food. Okay, that's cool. Goal of the channel is to have fun. And the question is, okay. Let's see here. I don't feel like talking about it. My question is, Okay, so this person makes shorts when they're on camera rating food on camera. They kind of look confident, but in reality, they have a lisp and they can't say S properly, which has extremely knocked their confidence even since school. Does D have any advice because he's such a natural on camera and owns it so good? D, go.
I own it so well. I have a little bit of a lisp myself. It's not too bad, but I do have a little bit of a lisp. And my S's and my sh sounds, sibilant sounds, right? These are the higher end sounds that come out of people's mouth. Mine are incredibly harsh. And editing my audio can be an absolute nightmare. And as I'm getting older, it's getting worse. I'm getting these weird pops and all these little sounds in my mouth. And like my audio situation is a nightmare. But I feel you because I do have a slight lisp. I don't know where your lisp is, but I can tell you this. There's two things here. Number one, there are tools that can help you reduce the harshness of your lisp. The sh, you know, that sibilant sound. There are tools that can help.
Was that like RX?
Yeah, there's lots of tools. So you can go to YouTube and say reduce sibilance in audio, or how to reduce lispy.
Hey, hold on
sounds
really
in
quick.
audio.
Tan going in the kitchen. You don't have to super chat again. You can just put it here. You don't have to super chat again. All right, go ahead, D. Sorry.
Right, so you can search that, right? How to reduce lisp in audio, how to reduce sibilance in audio. And you'll have to learn. I mean, it's not just like a one-click thing. You're going to have to use your ears and some headphones and learn the right frequencies, which can be around the 5,000, 7,000 K range if you're looking at an EQ, right? So that's one issue, is reducing the harshness. The second thing about the lisp itself, like that's what makes you you, man. Right? However we speak, that's what makes me sound different from him, and Renee Ritchie sound different from me, and Ed from Flash in Your Pan sound different from Little Crafty Nook. How we speak is what makes us us. All of our little quirks and the little things that we say and the words that we might say wrong, the things that we might, well, it's not even wrong, it's just how we pronounce things. Like,
But I mean, that can be wrong though.
but yeah,
Yeah.
but who cares?
Right.
Like it's you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be a perfect, you don't want to be a clone. You don't want to be some AI avatar, right? Like I always get that wrong. You don't want to be some perfect clone, some perfect AI thing that's created that just speaks like a robot. All these little things that you might get hung up on about yourself, that's what makes you you, man. That's the secret sauce. And you just have to learn how to be more comfortable in front of the camera. And one thing that can help tremendously with this is live streaming. If you can live stream, and I know it's terrifying, especially terrifying if you have a little bit of a lisp, but when you live stream, if you can just do it once a week for an hour, even if nobody shows up and you treat it like a video, something happens. There's a name for it. I forget what it's called, but there's something happens to our brain because you're not just speaking anymore. Metacognition. You are controlling the what's happening with your computer. You're reading the chat or waiting for people to come in. You're looking at your notes. You're running the gear. You're trying to watch your proximity to the microphone. Maybe you're looking at the camera, trying to make sure your view's going.
Triggering additional cameras.
Triggering additional cameras, all while trying to hold a conversation. And it's terrifying and it's hard at first, but if you can learn how to do that, even on a small scale, you're going to find that it's going to build your confidence to how you communicate with the camera. I mean, there's going to be a night and day difference. If you live stream once a week for a year, you are going to see a tremendous difference in how you communicate a year later. If you do 2 years, same thing. It's just going to keep building on top of itself. So embrace your lisp, embrace any sort of a speech impediment that you might have, that anybody has. If it's too harsh, you can use tools to help reduce that. And, reach out to me privately, to my email. It's my name at Gmail, if you have problems with that, and I can help walk you through it. But don't worry about it, man. You've got it. Being weird, being unique, being, saying
That's
things.
gold for YouTube.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like that's, we used to have a saying growing up, like in the 70s and 80s and all that stuff, and you guys probably heard it. It's let your freak flag fly. Just like let it out, man. Whatever it is. I think that's what makes us cool. Like, that's what makes all of us, Yeah. Embrace it, man. Yeah. Anyway, there you go.
Good.
That's
If
my
you're
answer.
enjoying the show,
Embrace it.
remember to give it a
Reduce
thumbs
the
up
harshness
and
and
share it with a
embrace
friend
whatever it is
right
that you got.
now.
And that applies to everybody. Yeah, Ed, exactly. Why be normal? Normal doesn't necessarily.
Normal's for suckers.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, social media is more than algorithms. Social media is about attention. It's about attention. And if you look and sound like everybody else, you are going to struggle to get attention.
Yep.
But if you just embrace your uniqueness, whatever that is, then that's what makes you you. Right? There's only one you. One person speaks like you. One person is going to communicate like you.
One people.
One people.
Yep.
Right? One person's going to set things up the way you do. That's going to tell a story
Yep.
like you do. That's going to choose the topics that you do. So just wrap yourself in that and just go. Go as hard as you can.
Yep. Yep. Amy
Yep.
says normal is just a setting on the dryer.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't want to watch normal. I want to watch unique people. I want to watch people where I go, man, I really like hanging out with this person.
100%.
Yeah.
So next up, we have Little Crafty Nook. What's going on, Nikki? Hope you're doing great. Says she does homemade greeting cards. Target audience of paper crafters.
Now Nikki's weird.
Yeah, Nikki's a weird one. She is a weird one.
Yeah,
Just joking.
Now, everything I said doesn't apply to Nikki. Nikki, you might want to think about doing something else. I'm kidding.
Oh.
Yeah, love you. Hope you're doing well.
So says, do you think AI gets booty hurt if we don't finish the conversation? Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think it. It doesn't have like feelings or anything. So yes, I don't think so. It says I'm doing shorts now as we are remodeling. I plan to do a big reveal when my new Crafty Nook is all done. Yeah, nice. Good to see that.
There you go.
So next up, we have funny animal videos. Funny animal videos uploads 1 time per year or more. They do funny animal videos. Goal channels to make money. And the question is, need help getting my channel started? I'm new to this. So if you need help getting your channel started, the very first thing that I recommend is just getting clear on what you're trying to do. Like, having like a real purpose that you're trying to, accomplish on your channel. Have, very specific things that you're trying to work on. Have very specific things that you are, intentionally trying to understand, when it comes to being a content creator and making content and the people that you're trying to serve with your content, all of that. Like in your case, it would be animal lovers, right? If you're doing funny animal videos. And then, working on the processes of being consistent and all of those types of things. Those are, the start of it. And then from there, as you're publishing videos on a regular basis, then you're going to, be in a position where, you're going to have some videos start doing better than others. Like I'm looking at this one here in your shorts where I actually see 2 right here on this first view, where you've got 1.7 thousand views on those videos. So start looking into those first and being like, okay, why do I think these got, more views than these other videos? What is shown in the thumbnail on this one? When the video first starts, what's seen? What do people see? What does the title look like on this one? Topically, why do I think this matters to people that are, that are being served videos on funny animal videos, right? But you go through that process of, creating, getting feedback, iterating, getting feedback, iterating, getting feedback, and you do that over and over again. And through that process, you'll start recognizing things as long as you're paying attention. So focus on that. Focus on publishing consistently, and then paying attention to how people respond, and then being willing to bend what it is that you're doing based on how people are responding to what it is that you're publishing. Because at the end of the day, we're making content for other people. So, we can publish content, just for ourselves, but, that's usually best for like a different channel than like the main channel you're trying to turn something into. But for the channel that you're trying to, grow and get other people to enjoy, you have to make sure that you're making content for other people too.
We're still working on getting Tango in the kitchen's question.
We still in there?
Yeah, I guess it's getting filtered somehow.
What about email? Just email it to me.
Holy moly.
Yep, email it to me.
I mean, or just
email
like,
it.
Spread out the words or something like letter space, letter space, letter space.
Email your question to askniman@gmail.com. Yep, just email it to me, and then I'll pull that up in the background, and I'll keep an eye out for it. We're gonna get your question answered. By golly,
we're gonna be here all night.
We are going to get this
long.
Yeah, we are going to get this. We're gonna get this question.
Renee's
covered.
talking about Blade Runner. Mm-hmm. Renee, Blade Runner 1 or the original or number 2? Man, I think the soundtrack for number 2 is easily my top 10 soundtracks. Just spectacular soundtrack on number 2.
Yeah, so I have that email open in the background. So just waiting for it to come in, and then we'll get you sorted.
Yep.
Okay, so next up on our list here, we have
OG. Renee's with OG. Okay. Yeah, good movie.
Trying to learn bikes. What's going on? It's been a while. Hope you're doing great. They upload 1 time per week or more. They do motorcycle maintenance content. Goal of the channel is to teach others. And the question is, with the new watch time hours increasing to 8,000 hours, is the expectation to maintain those 8,000 watch time hours on a rolling yearly basis? No. So basically, you have to continually publish videos, right? So the new rule is that you have to publish, I believe it's 2 long form videos within a 90-day period. And off the top of my head, I can't remember the amount of shorts that you have to publish in that same 90-day period. But you have to, just show YouTube that you're consistent. And then if you fall under that, then you can, you have to maintain 1,000 hours of watch time within that 90-day period. So as long as as long as you're covering one of those, then you're good to go.
Demon's Row.
Demon Row in the house says, now that time has passed, where are you with YouTube Shorts? Is it just 2 separate fan bases, or does it hurt your long form? So when it comes to YouTube Shorts, for engaged viewers, they can enjoy your content in both places. So, like in a case like yours, because of, the type of content that you're making, it's great for shorts. And you are going to essentially serve the audience over there that enjoys those. And for the people that are the most engaged, that are like, wow, this is great stuff, I want to watch longer versions of all of this, then those people will click on your channel name, they will navigate to your YouTube channel, and then they'll start watching some of your other content. And then, the more of that they watch, the more YouTube's going to recommend it to them. And in addition to that, if they're heavily engaged in your shorts and they're watching a lot of that, then YouTube is also more likely to recommend your long form content to them as well, and vice versa. So because of that, the bridges have been created where, you are catching people at different times, creating different viewer experiences for them, and, catching them based on their preference in that moment. But the people that are really digging your content, they're going to cross over and they're going to enjoy it everywhere. So for example, with me, just to use one example here, like I'll watch Theo Von, right? So if I watch his long form content, before I'm going to bed or something, then, YouTube starts recommending me his shorts, and then I'll watch shorts, right? And I watch, his content over in shorts, and then, YouTube will recommend, a long form, Theo Von video to me when I'm over on the other side. So since I watch and enjoy his content, it doesn't matter where I'm at. YouTube's like, hey, we know that you're watching Theo Von, so here, check these out, because, Theo's a part of these. So it's all good to publish to both. All good. Green lights all around.
All good.
Yep.
It's all good, man.
Mm-hmm. Integrated Travel Solutions says they had to step out for a minute. Loved the tutorial. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Next up.
So I think we should give away a Vid Summit ticket.
We're not going to give away a Vid Summit ticket until we get that question answered.
All from Tango in the Kitchen?
Yep.
Let me
so
look here.
If we can't get that answered, then there's nothing else going on in this stream. We're just going to sit here and drink coffee.
So to not put that pressure on her, here, let me go ahead and get this pulled up here. Yeah. And let me go to live.
But until that happens, though, we should probably give away a Vid Summit ticket.
I think that's a really good idea.
Yep.
I think that's a really good idea.
Yep.
So let's see here. Let's go here.
Renee says YouTube is so incredibly personalized now personalized now in terms of ranking. It might be hard for creators to understand. Being prescriptive is tough.
Yeah, I think one of the cool things about it is just how good. Like sometimes it's huge misses. Sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, like this doesn't need, like I just scrolled like a bunch and like none of this even matters.
Yeah.
And then other times it's like, man, I'm having trouble like figuring out what I want to click on here because like everything's looking good to me.
YouTube is YouTube's like that for me too. Like I can go days on end and I'm just open up YouTube and it's just like, oh, here's this video from 12 years ago. Here's this video from 8 years ago. And I'm just like garbage. Not interested in go to TikTok. That can happen for days.
Mm-hmm.
And then it can completely flip. It's almost like they go in and just or no, just turn it on, and I open up YouTube, and I'm like, I want to watch every single video on my homepage. For me, it just teeters, man. It's like there's nothing I want to watch, or it's just I want to watch everything.
We might have to wait, actually.
Why?
I'm getting a message here that the site is down.
What site?
Yeah, I'm trying to go to vidsummit.com right now,
Oh.
and the site is down. Hey, Doug, could you check and see if it's down on your end here? Yeah, they might be updating something over there because I know they're adding speakers and all that stuff all the time. So
Yeah, but you don't have to wait.
yes, they might
people
be
wait tickets and
adding.
stuff.
I know. I was just gonna let people know
You're
because
just making an excuse for Tango in the kitchen. You're stalling.
Sir Digital 80 says Vid Summit ticket. What is that? I'm so confused. Yeah. So oh no, it's back. It's back. We're
All
good.
right.
Okay. So for the tickets that we're getting ready to give away, they are for Vid Summit. What Vid Summit is Vid Summit is a conference for content creators. So it's where we go every year to share what it is that we know about YouTube, share our love for YouTube, learn more about YouTube and different ways that people do every aspect of being a content creator. And, you know, people sharing their strategies on how, you know, things that they've done has worked out for them. And it's just a great place to network and connect with other content creators and learn from, you know, people that are doing this. So if you can make it to Dallas, Texas, September 29th through October 1st, then this is something that you definitely want to listen to. So what we're getting ready to do is we're getting ready to give away a ticket to Vid Summit. And the qualifiers for this is you just have to be uploading on a regular basis. It doesn't matter if it's a video, a short, a live stream. It just has to be, you know, uploading on a regular basis. And in addition to that, you have to be able to get to Dallas, Texas, September 29th through October 1st. And then from there, if you win, then all you have to do is contact me through either x.com, just send me a DM over there, or you can send me an email at askniman@gmail.com if you're a winner. And either one of those ways that you can get in touch with me. And once we get that confirmation from you, then we'll set everything up and send you what you need. But if you don't contact me, then it's going to go back into the pool, and then we'll just give it to you know, somebody else on another stream. So so that's all you got to do. And if you can make it to Dallas, Texas, then and you're taking your YouTube channel seriously, right? This is something that you're wanting to turn into something. Then Vid Summit is for you. So let's go ahead and get this up here. I meant to delete that. I was going to have that as the word, but we're going to do.
No, that's the word. No. It's got to go back. It's got to be Tangoing.
You think Tangoing is the one there?
100%.
All right.
You do
Okay.
not-
We'll do it.
Mr. Niman, you put that back right now. I will call mom
Okay.
if you don't put that back right now.
Okay. Okay, really quick, she says, this is regarding Dee's comment about finding good ideas. Find good ideas. Don't just copy other creators, including thumbnails. That's it. So, yeah, so she sent that to my email, so we got that. Yeah, so
There we
basically
go.
finding good
Yeah.
ideas.
No, I
so,
agree, yeah.
So really quick, Dee, before we give this away, when it comes to finding good ideas for content, what recommendations do you have?
It depends on the type of content that you're making. But look, if you are trying to entertain people, right? It depends on what type of content you're making. If you're trying to entertain people, that's one thing. If you're trying to solve problems, I believe for most people, if you have,
Really quick.
Yeah.
Before he keeps going on that, all you have to do here to enter this is type Tangoing. Just type this same exact thing right here. Just type that into the chat right now. If you type that into the chat, then it will automatically add you to this list. And then here in just a minute, we're going to choose the pick a winner. Go ahead, Dee.
yeah, if you're trying to solve problems for people, I think that's one of the easiest ways for new creators to really build momentum. Problem solution, right? You have expertise, you have knowledge about something. You don't have to be the smartest in your entire niche. You don't have to know everything. You just have to know a little bit more than you're making the videos for. I think that's it's kind of a cheat code, I think, to doing things. But you have to do it well. And if you really want to find ideas, just go and look what people are looking for. Look at what they're interested in. You can go into the YouTube search bar and just start.
Hold on really quick. Doug's saying that word isn't registering. Yeah, they're coming in here.
What?
Right here. Yeah, I see him coming in right here. Oh, you know what? I think because I didn't hit the start button, so it wasn't collecting me yet. That might be why they thought that.
Okay. So
it's pulling on all the Tangoing in the chat. So is it them?
Huh?
Okay, yeah, we'll clear it. Yeah, just to reset it. So we're gonna clear it. So we're gonna change it.
Mom, I told you.
Nah, we're not going to do that one either. So we'll do Vid Summit ticket.
This has turned into a fiasco.
That's good, keeping everybody on their toes.
All we're trying to do is give away a ticket, and you are making. Listen,
I'm making it hard on people. I am. I'm ashamed of myself, D. Yeah, making it hard on myself or on everybody.
You are putting people on the edge of their seats, making this difficult for people. Now, if you really
Artist Haven says she's calling mom. Also,
if you wanted to make it hard on people, you would put Vid Summit ticket 2026 Dallas, Texas.
Yep, that would.
That would make it hard on people. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Roll this thing.
Hold on.
Let's get it up.
Yeah, it's not coming in yet. It says at Summit ticket. Hold on. Yeah, like.
Way to go. You broke it.
Yeah, something's not registering here. Hold on. On the screen, it says Vid Summit.
I told her I don't want a brother. I said we don't need to adopt a brother. You can adopt a sister if you want to adopt a sister, but we don't need another little boy in the house.
Yep.
And against.
I'm curious if I should just change this to at Summit.
For
some reason.
Against my wishes.
YouTube is stitching us up. Auto translate is changing the entries. Oh, I love it. Okay, so we're just going to change this to at Summit for the
Renee.
Oh, this is great.
Listen, we got to blame Renee here.
Okay, it's all right. It's all right. Well, we'll modify this.
We
Hold
Renee
on.
We got to get it.
Yeah, because
Renee,
YouTube.
call somebody quick.
Yeah, YouTube is.
Listen, you can't.
There we go. Okay, we got it.
You can't convince.
Keep going.
Renee doesn't have a red phone on his desk.
He's like, all right, they're putting this in the chat. Yeah. Change it up. Change it up. Right.
Hey Todd, listen.
Hilarious.
Listen up, Todd. We're gonna play a prank. We're gonna play a prank on Nim and Live. When they start giving away Vid Summit tickets, we're gonna turn on the auto translation for all the chats. Todd's like, bet, got it.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, if you look at the chat right now, it's just all like at Summit tickets. Oh, that's great. Okay, so it's at Summit for Vid Summit. Yep, this is great.
Okay, why have we never had this problem before?
I'm not sure because I never put Vid Summit and ticket together, so I guess that's why.
How is that triggering a translation?
I have no idea. No idea. That's hilarious.
Okay, that's fun though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, why not? We're gonna give away an at Summit ticket.
Yep. For Vid Summit though.
We're gonna give away an at Summit ticket for Vid Summit.
Yep.
What dates?
September 29th through October 1st in Dallas, Texas.
And what are the requirements for somebody who might win this? What do they need to be doing on their channel?
Well, you just got to be publishing videos. That's it.
Well, that's kind of vague.
You got to be publishing videos. Yep. You just got to be making content. That is all.
So if somebody were to win this and they opened it up and you open up their channel to look and they haven't uploaded in 4 months.
Then we spin again.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, here we go. We're going to go ahead and spin it actually.
There you go. I don't make the rules.
Downstairs, they're probably like, "Oh my
know.
gosh, what is going on here?"
Yeah.
Here we go. Drolly XX, you are the winner. High five and
Congratulations.
fist bump.
You were going to at Summit.
Yep, you are the winner here for the Vid Summit ticket. So here's all you need to do is first we got to find them here and make sure that they are publishing content. Let's scroll up here and find them really quick. Hey, we forgot to put ourselves in here, D, to be wild cards.
Oh, yes, because then we could just give it away to whoever we wanted to give it away.
So let's see here. Drolly X. Okay, let's see what Drolly X is doing. Go to channel and then make sure that you're publishing. 3 months ago. Hold on, let's go to shorts. Let's go to shorts. This is going to be the deciding factor.
Yep.
Yep, you're in.
Yep.
Okay.
Barely, though.
Barely,
boy.
man.
You
By
know
the
what this
skin
was?
of your teeth right there.
This was Indiana Jones sliding under the concrete door in the Temple of Doom, closing. Hat fell in the background, reaches his hand in, grabs the hat at the last second. In this case, that would be the at Summit ticket.
Yes.
Grabs it, pulls his hat out right as the door closes down, sealed the Temple of Doom forever.
Yes.
That was you.
That
right?
was it.
You were
Right there.
you were the Indiana Jones
Of Vid Summit giveaways.
of Vid Summit giveaways.
Yep.
Way to go.
Yep. Congratulations.
Yep.
Yeah, so here's all you need to do. You can email me at asknimin@gmail.com, asknimmin@gmail.com. Or you can send me a DM on X. So just go to x.com and then just look for my name there, and then you'll find me there, and send me a message there. Either one, whatever works out best for you. And you need to do that within a 7-day period. And if you can't go for some reason, if you're like, hey, I was just trying that, and like I'm not going to be able to go, I can't make it to Dallas, Texas. Just let us. If you could let us know now, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So then we can pass it on. But if you can go, then awesome. We will see you there, and just make sure that you get in touch, and then we'll get you all set up. So congratulations.
Awesome. Way to go, Indy.
Drooly. That's good.
Yep,
Love
way
it.
to go. Way to go, way to go, way to go, way to go. All right, all right, all right.
All right. Okay, so here we go. So next channel that we are going to look at here is
Drew,
Outside the Staves podcast. What is a stave? Do you know?
I think the Staves would be their last name.
The last name?
The Staves.
Okay.
Everybody has a Staves in the neighborhood.
Okay, let's find out.
Yeah. Chris Staves, Julie Staves, Pam
Brandon.
Staves,
Brandon Staves.
Everybody has a Stave. Listen, every
That's not the same as Shelly Saves, though.
No,
Yeah.
completely different.
Okay. So let's see here. So they do bourbon reviews. Oh, so a stave is maybe bourbon related, I guess.
Oh.
Is that what it is? And let's see here. So they're targeting men 25 to 70 and women. It's a pretty big spread. The question is, please take a look and show me what I can do better. So let's take a look at your channel.
So apparently, Amy says Staves are the plans in a barrel.
Plans in a barrel?
I don't know. I thought it was people in the neighborhood.
Planks.
I
The
know,
planks in a barrel.
I know people named Staves.
Planks
for
in a
family
barrel.
name. Yep. I thought it was like
Planks.
a family podcast.
Oh, we've pulled this one up before,
Planks.
I think. Okay, Outside the Staves podcast. Let's take a look and see what you got going on. First off, just simplify.
Oh, yes.
Simplify what's going on. This is like a lot with your thumbnails. This, honestly, this thumbnail could be like this, but wide.
Yep.
Like, that's a lot more powerful than like doing all of this stuff, right? Like, I would really just lean on shots that look like this, and things that look like that.
Yep.
Like, I would just do that. Like, you don't have to do all these things. Let this grab the attention, and then let this do the work, right? This grabs the attention. This does the work. So that's number one. Number two is, fellas, you're missing out, my big handy spot bourbon score. This doesn't really say much in terms of what a viewer might get out of this video, right? So I don't know if this is like a bourbon review, which would add clarity. I don't know if this is a bourbon tasting, which would add clarity. I don't know if it's a bourbon comparison to where you're comparing, this one to this one. So, when people don't have clarity, they're just going to, skip, and they're going to go look for something that is, more clear. So I would work on the clarity and just simplifying what it is that you have going on here. Because I think how you're doing the images, how you're focusing on the, on the imagery here, that part's good. But, I think with the text, you're doing more there than you even need to. And then for the content, or for the title, what you want to think about is, if I'm making this title, what does it suggest to the viewer that they might get out of this video?
All right.
And then once you define that thing, then run with the video. I would start with that. And Dee, will you cover this for just 1 second? I need to step away here for just a second.
Yeah, absolutely. How's everybody doing in the chat?
Don't burn the place down, please.
I am taking control of Niman Live, ladies and gentlemen. We don't know if Nick is coming back. Maybe I'll give away a VidSummit ticket. He's not here to stop me, so maybe I'll give away another VidSummit ticket. I don't know. I am going to scroll back through the chat here and see if anybody has any questions that I can answer. I don't know if anybody's asking any questions here or not. Behaving Bikely says, I can't keep up with technology. Everyone's using AI. I'm still filming on a phone. Listen, everybody's moving to AI. And I was just thinking, Nick was reviewing somebody's channel, and I had opened up YouTube, and I was just looking around at the homepage. I think we're having there's an AI thumbnail apocalypse upon us. There are so many. I mean, AI is cool. I love AI. I think it's great for helping you brainstorm and work faster, be more efficient. But using AI badly, I think, is hurting people. And I look at so many thumbnails, and they're just bad AI thumbnails. The problem with AI, with a lot of AIs, if you just like, hey, make this thumbnail, a lot of times it doesn't know when to stop. Right? Terminator doesn't stop. AI doesn't know when to stop a lot of times when you're making graphics. So you have to be very specific. That's not your point. Technology is hard to stay on top of. And I try to stay on top of it. Nick is more on top of AI than I am. But I found that we're at a point now with technology, especially with AI, that if I'm not trying to pay attention to what's going on every couple of days, within a couple of updates, I'm missing out on what's happening.
Yeah.
But I can say this. all you need is your phone. If
All you need is your phone.
copyright claim,
Hey, I just said all you need is your phone. That's not even.
I own that song.
All you need is your phone.
I'm taking
Yeah.
all the money,
Yeah.
all the money on this. But all you need is your phone. Here's the thing. Don't let technology discourage you from making content.
Or as they say here, technology.
Technology.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what all of this is a person with an idea telling a story. Your story could be motivational. It could be, you could be telling your story. You could be teaching somebody how to do something. You could be making somebody laugh. It's all a story. So just think about, grab whatever camera you have and just tell your story. Like, that's what it all comes down to.
Yeah.
You don't need the fancy bells and whistles. You don't need all. There are people that are wildly successful with phones. Just sitting down, turning on your phone. YouTube's taking an automatic screenshot of what's going on in the video and doing great. And
Oh, that's nice. Carl, yeah, I wish we could do.
oh, there we are.
Freeze again.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Everybody who's wildly successful making content with their phone, even the ones who aren't doing much with thumbnails or anything, they all tell great stories. They're all interesting. They all have something interesting to say, or they're great at communicating their ideas.
Are we frozen on your end?
No, we're moving.
Oh, okay.
So don't let technology overwhelm you, because all you need is your phone. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. You don't need AI. AI can help you work faster, can help you brainstorm, it can help you come up with ideas. But if you have a story to tell, you have something you want to share
Yeah,
with
we
the
are
world,
frozen.
let it loose. All
Yeah,
right.
I'm seeing frozen on my end too.
All right, good.
Yep.
That's exactly what I wanted. I wanted to freeze this out.
Yep.
To close out Nim and Live.
Yeah, I think
today.
we're moving again now. Yeah, I think we're moving again now.
Okay.
Because I see us moving now on my side. So maybe.
All right. Well, that's
Yep.
we're having a good
Having a good
stream
time.
today.
Yep.
All right. Well,
There's a comedian I watch called Dusty Slay, because I watch a lot of comedians.
yeah.
And he's just got a thing that he always talks about, like in these like awkward moments where he's just like, yeah, we're having a good time.
We're having a
And
good
it's
time,
just funny because, you know, comedic timing and all that stuff.
Okay.
But it's fun to just think about when you're having, you know, those moments where you're like, oh yeah, we're like freezing up and, you know, all that
Listen,
stuff. It's like, yeah, we're having a good time.
You might not know this or understand this, but this is great.
Yeah.
This is great.
It is
I
great.
wanted to close this out in a complete disaster.
Yep, me too. With
Just-
like glitching and like freezing, camera freezing.
Just
yeah, me
because
too.
I want people who are wanting to get into live streaming and making content to truly understand that everyone has problems.
Yeah.
Live happens, mistakes happen, technology happens, and all you can do is roll with it and do the best you can do. And on that note,
We do want to remind you a couple
do
things.
this.
Very first is remember that we have a school for YouTubers called Tuber School. If that is something that you are interested in, if you need some extra help with your channel, then check that out at tuberschool.com. In addition to that, if you are a content creator and you are new and you're having trouble, if you are experienced and you've hit a wall and you're having trouble, just remember that when it comes to YouTube, it's a learning curve, just like everything else that we do. If we're learning how to play an instrument, if we start a new hobby, if we start a new job, if we do like anything new, there's, things that we just have to learn in order to get proficient at that thing. YouTube is the same exact way. So if if it seems like everything is, way out of touch, just think to yourself, okay, what is it that I need to work on right now? Like, what's something that I can just look at my channel and I know that I can do better? And what do I have to do in order to just spend some time learning about that thing and learning how to do it better? And really, when it comes to all this stuff, what it really comes down to, if you boil YouTube down into a nutshell, is it's a response-based system. So you have to figure out, one, what you're trying to do so you can make sure you're making the right content to, help you do it. Two, you have to figure out who it is that you're making content for. Three, you have to figure out how to reach and resonate with those people. And if you can do those three things, then this stuff will end up working out for you. But there's a lot of nuance there and a lot of, different skills and a lot of different things that you need to learn along the way. So hang in there. You got this. Just keep at it. And we'll see you next weekend, next Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern. D, great stream.
yep, great stream.
Yep. Shout out again to Daryl Eves and to VidSummit for letting us give tickets away. And also remember to check out Opus Clip as well. They are the sponsor of the stream today. They'll help you repurpose your content that you can use on other platforms. You can use it in YouTube Shorts if you want. If you wanted to, you can even sample out long form content as well out of your like longer live streams and stuff, and take those and edit them up to tighten everything up and stuff like that. But you can check them out at opus.pro or opusclip.com. Or opusclip.pro and opusclip videoclip.com, or if you want to give me an affiliate hookup, then you can go to tryopusnow.com. And yeah, have a great weekend, and we will see you.
I'm gonna close this one off. Carlos says, I have news. Can you guys believe that someone just offered me a nice amount of money to manage his YouTube channel just for the conversations of everything that I've learned here in the tuber school?
Oh, nice. Love it. Love it.
man.
Yeah, it's great,
Love
man.
it.
Congratulations on that too.
Yep.
Yeah, love it. So yeah, so have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time.